These are some of the most aesthetic bases I've ever built in 99 Nights in the Forest. Starting out with the biggest hexagon base, the most satisfying base, and finally, the biggest food base. Today, I'm gonna be building the biggest hexagon base in 99 Nights in the Forest, but I have gained access to one of the coolest things in the game. Watch this. Boom. I can go anywhere I want on the map with this camera, and I'm gonna be using it to showcase the base. See, look, I already got the volcano biome. It's that way. This is insane. I'm gonna be using it as a drone, so we're gonna see what we can use with this. For now, let's get to fire level 3. I'm playing the decorator class because that'll hopefully get me a lot more furniture to make truly a very nice big hexagon base. All right, there we go. Fire level 3. First thing to always get. Now, I do want to get a lot of furniture coins, but because the furniture trader comes by so frequently, I really only need enough for the rare stuff, and everything else you could buy it pretty much anytime. All right, this is good. This will give me enough fuel. Hopefully we'll get to fire level 4 on day 1. That'll actually be really good. Getting the fire to the highest level is a cheat code to basically speedrunning the rest of the game. There we go. That is fire level 4, day 1. So let's keep going. I do need a good sack as well though, and usually that's the easiest to find in the lower rarity chests. Something like right here will be the good sack. Por favor, give me the bien sack. Okay, chili seeds actually I will take any day of the month. These are super useful. Helps you actually get things done a lot faster. And if you're really in trouble, you could probably escape whatever's chasing you. Wait, what in the world? They added more fish. Since when? Yo, no one told me about this. Dude, this one looks... Is that a unicorn? That looks like a unicorn horn. That's just another eel. Probably an electric eel maybe, but this is... Maybe you find them in the lava biome. There we go. Got the good axe. Still do need the good sack though. Got another good axe. I'll be leaving that one there. Leather armor, not bad. Another good... Okay, I have 3 good axes now. But for now, the sack's full, so I'm gonna head back to the base. Hold up. Wait, I have an idea. I'm hiding right now, so I can just do one of these, and I can see the deer up here busting some dance moves. Bro, dude. All right, man. Calm down. I see. Dude is ready to dance on top of a hospital. All right, but I could just hit the button again, or the combination of buttons, and then boom, back to where we need to be. There it is. All right, good sack. We are good. So now let me just get a little bit more fuel, and we'll be able to get the next fire pretty fast. I mean, everything's going pretty good right now. Just gotta get a lot of stuff for the hexagon base. Thing's gonna be huge. Can be as big as possible, at least with log walls, but I cannot wait to get the overhead shots. I have no idea how that's gonna look like yet. It's just, bro, I'm excited. Got the stronghold right here as well. We will be needing that for later to get furniture coins for our base. It's always good to do that, I think, as soon as possible. That way, it'll reset and I can do level 2 pretty quickly. All right, but this should definitely be enough. There it is, fire level 5. Now let me focus on getting fire level 6 as fast as possible. It's like a speed run right now. I might have, if I get enough stuff, I might have fire level 6 day 4. Now, I haven't gotten any beds or kids yet, but still, that'll be very nice. I'm looking for the chests that have the gold stripes on them. Those usually give me an oil barrel a pretty decent chunk of the time. Also just found where the 3rd kit is, and an oil barrel and 2 fuel canisters all at the same time. This is actually going really good. If I can just find another oil barrel, I probably will have enough. Got a rifle, we'll take that. Okay, interesting. This thing is tinted red in the hotbar. Maybe to show that it's a weapon. There we go. Give me that. Strong flashlight. We will take that any day of the week. That'll help me a lot to loot at night. Another fuel canister too. Pick up this coal just in case. We have enough room. All right, over here we actually have Dish TV. This is where they hold their headquarters. As you can see, they are pretty angry at Netflix streaming services. They know that I use streaming services. All right, give me an oil barrel, por favor. Okay, strong axe actually is exactly what we need, because we need to get wood fast, so that's gonna make it a lot faster. Just go around getting all the one-hit trees, get a bunch of saplings. Everything is gonna be very, very nice. Got another chest right here. Por favor, oil barrel. All right, defense blueprint, not bad. Fuel canister though, we take those. Head back to the base. So let's see. Is this enough? I hope it is. It is just barely not. Hold up. It's not day 5 yet. It is not day 5. It is not day 5 until it says day 5. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, man. I was 2 seconds late. But Pelt Trader is back. I actually do need to trade with him because I do need the spear. That's what's going to help me for doing the stronghold. And I'm pretty sure that thing opens in like a minute. Okay, bunny foot. That's the first thing I need. Oh, wait, hold up. I need to eat some food. That's the real first thing I need. I'm gonna die. All right, we're gonna get food from these wolves and hopefully a pelt. Okay, no pelt yet, but a bunch of food. I will definitely take that. There we go. There's our pelt. So we have bunny foot, pelt. We can get the spear. We have the strong axe. We have fire level 6. We have almost everything we need on day 5. This is going great. All right, cook some food. Where's the bunny foot? Right there. I will take a good sack, even though I already have one. And what? Okay, that was weird. Wait, hold up. Why would I want the old taming flute? That's the easiest item in the world to find. But regardless, we have the spear. So this actually gives us a fantastic foundation for building our base. I guess now I'm just gonna go take out the stronghold. I mean, this is gonna be great. Wait, that's weird. Hold up. Furniture Trader's in town, but I don't have the menu to open him anymore. Did they get rid of that? I don't know. Maybe it's a bug. Maybe it's not. Let's see. We're gonna get the rare item. What is this? A gazebo. I have never seen that. I will take it though. So we're gonna get those things. We are gonna get some Fairlight singles are nice. Not too many though. Just get these ones for now. We'll get Kevin his seat and his fish, and we'll get some tables. Perfect. Now we gotta go take out the stronghold. What in the world? Yo, where? Oh, dude, hey, what's up, guys? I was wondering where you were. All right, there we go. Ton of coins I'm gonna get from this. Dude, I hate the aim of these red ones. They have the most sniper-like aim you've ever seen in your entire life. They could hit a solo cup from Fiji all the way in India. Dude, if I get a chainsaw out of this will be one of my best base runs in my entire history of playing this game. I'm doing this just for the coins, but it is always nice with the reward at the end. All right, got it done. Get all our coins. We're now up to 121. Get our stuff. And now for the chainsaw or tactical shotgun. That will work too. I would love that. And it's the... Dude, what is happening? It's one of the best runs I've had in like 19 years. I mean, that is quite literally a factual statement though. I'm not even lying. So I guess we just head back to the base, get some stuff for it. I mean, it's gonna be so easy, but this feels weird. This is easy, man. Usually it's a lot harder, but hey, we can use the easiness for building our base a lot better. So I'm gonna drop my furniture right here. Don't need it just yet. Got some farm plots. All right, so far everything's good. Now I guess let me just get all the wood in the game. What is this? What gentleman lives at this estate? What is this? What is, hold up, where? Huh? Okay. Oh, okay, coin stacks. Thank you. I will take that very much. Okay, this is an interesting base, or at least building. There we go. Got the Alpha Wolf pelt. So now I'm gonna head back to the base and just keep chopping down trees, getting more saplings. I mean, we are gonna get this done. And honestly, we are gonna have a very nice base. Oh, wait, hold up. Pelt Trader's here today. I thought he was gonna be here later. But that's actually perfect because now I can get my giant sack without having to wait. What? This isn't... What? You always get a giant sack for this. I think they changed it. I mean, I don't even know what I need. A rifle I don't need any of these things. I mean, I'll just put strong flashlight, but usually you always get a giant sack for that. So that's actually interesting. Gonna start chopping down these trees. We have a ton of them right here. All right, just gotta start moving all of this over. It would be so nice if like crafting bench level or another building or something, you can make a forklift or a truck, I don't know, something to just carry absolutely absurd amount of items that you could just drive around. Maybe you'd have to like beat a boss to get it. Either way, I would want that so bad. Just drive the truck up to here, dump it all on the crafting bench, boom, 300 logs immediately. Or if you could even get a gianter sack, like a 100 sack slot sack. I don't know how you would get it. Maybe there'd be a class for it, cost 10 billion diamonds, but who knows. Hoping that they do stuff like that in the future because that would be very helpful. All right, Furniture Trader is back today. Let's go talk to him. I think I have more than 200 coins now. What should we get a lot of? Lights are always nice. We'll get a few arches, not too many. I don't think we're gonna need much. Beanbags are cool. Pillows aren't too cool, so we'll skip out on those for now. Picket fences are nice. We'll get those as well as some trellis fences. Barrels are always nice. Decor, flower vases, we'll get a few of those. Some buckets. I guess we could use a couple. Chairs, definitely gonna need those. We're just gonna spam those and then we're done. All right, so we're gonna bring all this back to the base, but still the first goal is actually building the hexagon. Now to build it, I mean, I think the camera view is actually gonna help quite a lot. There we go. Give me that. The giant sack. I was out looking for some scrap because we're gonna need some for torches, but got a giant sack on the way. That is perfect. There we go. Iron armor. Things are getting better now. What the what? Yo, what the no, yo, what? I just walked in a Charmin Ultra Soft commercial. What the? Yo, I'm fine. I don't need it. I don't need toilet paper, man. Dude, what the? There's so many. Get me out of here, please. Get me up to the second story. I need second story. All right, here we go. Got the 10 torches. Place these all down just about here. Gonna move them later. What in the what? You could place them inside of it. That is weird. But this will give us the biggest possible base. So now for my plan. If I'm gonna actually, yeah, let me show you this. So here's what I'm thinking of doing, right? I need to build a hexagon, which is something like this shape right here. So we know the center point. We have our fire in the center, and I'm thinking in order to figure out where we're gonna have all of these sides, actually, hold on, let me move this. If I'm gonna do something like this. All right, this is better. This is what I'm actually trying to do. So I want to just bridge out a straight line, which will find this point right here. So we'll have this point for sure, and we'll have this point for sure doing the same thing. So using these 2 points, I'm wondering what I can do. If I could figure out what this point was, I could figure out probably everything else. Like these 2 points right here were good. It actually seems like this point, so this one right here, is about halfway in between this bottom point and our campfire. Hold up, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT if that's true. Oh, hold up. Whoa, yo, I don't understand any of this. Dude, I'm good. But that is actually perfect. Dude, all right, this allows me to really easy find 2 vertices, and from then on, it should be easy to find the rest. And then we'll have a good hexagon, an almost perfect hexagon, I believe. Depends on how well we can fit inside the circle. All right, so let's take this out to the very far edge, just still doing this, and that'll bring us to right here. We'll cut it off right there. So that's our first point on the hexagon. The next thing we need to do is find the halfway point that is here. So what if I were to like try to match these up to try to do something? How would I do this? Maybe I could go like 1 wall on, or 3 walls here, 3 walls here. This actually might work. It's gonna be a little bit overkill, but this is what's gonna work. Okay, we've almost found our midpoint. All right, this is our midpoint right here. Like this did almost exactly our midpoint. Okay, so cool. We're just gonna go straight out then, and that should be our first vertex, or a second vertex found for the hexagon. So we're just gonna go straight, and right here's our limit. So I should be able to just go straight to that point right there. So we'll pick up all these. I am learning mathematics playing 99 Nights in the Forest right now. This is great. All right, so I should be able to. I'm not gonna snap to grid. No way. That's not even gonna work. I'm gonna have to do something like this, push it to its limit, and point it directly over there, keeping it as straight as it's not gonna be perfectly straight, but as straight as possible going to the tip of that wall right there. All right, this wall is gonna be really easy. I mean, we just go straight, and actually I'll be able to look from above how this looks on in the game. From above, we'll see how the shape looks like. I think it should be great. All right, so we're out to right here. This should be the limit, and then we're gonna have to do something like this right here to try to get all the way to that vertex. So I'm gonna have to angle it in a little bit. There we go. All right, so if I go into free cam mode, oh, dude, this looks great so far. Look at this. Oh, that is mathematically pleasing. We got like a whole half trapezoid over here, which is exactly what you want, at least from how it looks. Oh, dude, this is gonna be insane. Let me get down a little bit lower. I'm still learning controls of this thing. If I have like a view view this way of the base. Oh, bro, this is about to be the best. Oh, dude, I'm so excited to have this new free cam. It's great. And you can look extra close at the eyebrow thickness. Look at this. There's like a second eyebrow for my eyebrow. Can you believe, bro? I have the eyebrow game right now. All right, but for real, this is looking fantastic. The math worked out perfectly. The base is gonna look very nice. All right, just cleared the level 2 stronghold. Got some thorn armor. I'll take that. And I think the furniture trader just came today, so that was perfect timing. See what he's got. So for rare items, we're just buying all those. Got bean bags. We'll take those. We want the trellis fence painted. Cloth frames will actually look pretty nice. And then some shrubs will be good for a farm. Flower bushes with that as well. Hedgerows could be pretty cool. I think I'm just gonna buy the curved ones though. I think that's good enough. And then I guess I don't know what else I want to buy. There's nothing else that I really want. So I guess we could go with red brick table. Maybe 3 red brick table. Well, hold on. Maybe all the red brick tables. Bunch of benches. Maybe we can make something with that. We'll see. Probably some kind of restaurant place. Oh, also we are so close to being done with the hexagon. Just wanted to get the furniture coins early as possible because I've been slacking a little bit. I forgot to go get that, but let's finish this off. All right, this will be the last few walls, and here is the last wall. Now to check if it's actually nice. Okay, will it look good? Let's see. All right, okay, not the most perfect thing you've ever seen in your entire life, but this is a massive, just ridiculously huge hexagon. It's a little bit wonky on these sides because I don't have the snap to grid, and this is just perfect right here. So that does look a little off, but looking at it from above, I think that is pretty good. I think that is pretty hexagonally. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, but now let's actually get to filling in the base, which actually makes me think. Do we want to split the base? What if I split the base into 6 different sections? Like a hexagon sliced pizza. Maybe that would look cool. I think that would be pretty... We're going to need a lot of wood for that. But I think that actually would look pretty cool. So we're going to have to do it. All right. Finally, I have been spending so much time on this. We're at about 2.5 hours into the video, and we finally have a beautifully separated hexagon. When it hits daytime, and hopefully it won't be raining, I will show you exactly what this looks like. All right, now this view is pretty cool, but this view is 10,000 times. Look at that, man. We got a hexagonal pizza. That is fantastic. Now what we can do with this is actually have a separate... Hold up. Did my fire just go out? Okay, no, we're good. I get maybe render distance, but now we can have a section for everything. So here could be a nice entrance section. We can have some kind of a farm area with this pond, maybe a kids area like boys and girls right here. Something over here like oil drill and utilities, and maybe a restaurant right here. Hold up. All right, I have some pretty good ideas. Let's see what we could do. So the first thing I do want to do is go get all the kids, because we don't have even a single one at the base yet. Not a single bed, not a nothing. All right, I just got the first 3 kids, but the problem is I'm out of rifle ammo, or at least I only have 3 bullets left, and we have to take out 6 bears. So I'm actually gonna loot up a little bit, try to get some ammo, try to get something so we can finally get the 4th kid. Rifle ammo right here, that's good. Some right here. Looks like Winnie the Pooh is guarding it, but maybe I can sneak underneath. Yeah, there we go. That actually worked. More back here. Hold up, I'm actually finding a lot of rifle ammo out of nowhere. Where is some more? Dude, what? They're right there. Why am I finding so much? I mean, I'll take it. Cannot complain. And there's more. Bro, what is my luck? That's some crazy luck. There we go. Got another bank back here. Furniture traders in town. Let's go hit them up. We have a bunch more coins. I have about 120. Now, designing the base is where this is all gonna come nicely together, because I can look at the base from here and I can see these guys pole vaulting into it. But when it's actually filled out and I think each of the sections are nice and laid out, I think it's gonna be pretty cool. All right, what do you have on this day? Painting portrait. We'll take one of those. those. I'll take some cloth frames. Do want some flower bushes and shrubs. I don't have any rocks yet either, so we'll take some of those. And then we'll just, I guess, get these things and some candles. Why not? But I think that might be all the furniture that we're gonna get for this, because we have a lot. I also have a lot of rifle ammo, so I should be able to pretty easily go and get the 4th kid. All right, drop all my stuff right here. And the 3 kids should go and find their places, hopefully. I actually have to make sure. What? Are you levitating? Yo, bro! Calm down, man. I can see you have some skills. I don't know what nation that's from, but you guys ever see that dance moves where it looks like the dudes are sitting in place and kicking out their legs? Yeah, that's what dude, she knows how to... Dude, what is your core strength? Somebody Oh, yo, they're all doing it. Or at least 2 of them are doing it. Yo, dude, you guys were doing sit-ups in the sack or something? Dino Kid, why didn't you join in, man? Look at you using your legs. So normal. So weird. All right, so today, let's try to go get the 4th kid, and then we can really start placing our furniture. There we go. Got the key. Got a minute to spare. Everything went well. Got a red chest, too. Hoping for the tactical shotgun. That will help a lot for raids that come on later. Dude, what is my luck? Gotten all the best items. I don't think I've gotten one riot shield in this game. This is the best run I've had since 1492, which is technically not a lie. Or actually, I don't know. I don't know what my best run has been so far, but this feels very, very good. No chance you're doing it too. No, stop it. Stop it. Use your legs. Use your All right, cool. We've got 3 children who know how to do some kind of crazy dance move from 1491. Dino Kid and I are very, very weird. I'm sorry to say it, but we are quite literally outnumbered by the floating children. Okay, now is where we start to make the nicest base in the game. Now, I do need the oil drill. That is going to be something that's going to help us to survive. So I'm thinking this area will most likely be our utility corner. So I'm going to point this way. So that way we have the oil drill right in here, but it's going to shoot out the oil barrels this way. And we have our map, sundial, and compass. I'm going to move those more towards the sides. Excuse me, floating child. Can you please let me work in peace? Go float somewhere else. All right, so sundial, we got to put kind of in the center. We always need shadows for it to work. The map, we could put right here. Feel like that fit. And then the compass off to the side of the sundial. So kind of more spaced out, but we'll definitely add something more to this room. This is really empty right now. But now we want to have a boys' side and a girls' side for the tents. So let me pick up all of those. Actually, pick up one at a time so I know which one is which. So this is the blue tent. So if we have the blue tent back here and the purple tent in this corner, she gets to listen to an oil drill deep into the Earth's core, all the way down to molten lava at 17 billion degrees. So it's gonna be very warm around here, and she can just sleep nice and well. I love listening to loud drilling noises at 17 billion degrees. I think that'll actually raise the property value right here. She's gonna pay a lot in taxes. But now let's take the 2 other tents, and I'm trying to decide. I want this to be the entrance, this to be the farm, and I want the farm to be next to the restaurant. So it leaves us with this, which, I mean, I guess would be a cool kid's bedroom. There are what is it called? The posters in the way, but it's their faces. It's their family photos. They posed fantastically for their family photos. He was crying of joy. She just got off a roller coaster. He just saw what I looked like bald, and she saw what I look like when I'm not bald. So yeah, I think this is a fantastic place for the kids to set up shop. So we're gonna place a tent in each corner and build a bedroom for each of them. Which reminds me, we need to build the beds. I don't know if I'll be able to do all of that though. We got the old bed, regular bed, and good bed, but I need 12 more scrap for the giant bed. For now though, let's put them in the right places. Good bed will go to the Kraken. No, not Kraken Kid. The Koala Kid. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting my own children's names. Everybody does that once in a while. All right, so she'll get the blue bed. Don't have that one yet. Okay, so we got the bed set up. We just need a little bit more scrap for the Kraken Kid. So now oh nice, I got a piece of cake. But now we need to actually decorate this base, and I have so many things to place. It is not even funny, dude. So let's just wait. Actually, I have a good idea. I can put the stuff in the room I think it'd be nice to put them in. I don't know what this is. It's a really tiny cup, but I guess I could put it in the restaurant. So restaurant, just throw it in here. It's gonna be restaurant. Beanbag, kid's bedroom. Oh, throw that all the way over. Kid's bedroom. Painting portrait, kid's bedroom. And I'm just gonna keep doing this with pretty much everything. Trellis fence, we're gonna put that over there. Excuse me, miss, can you stop levitating in my way, please? Please, like now. It's literally your bed. Thank you. All right, everything is now sorted, and I even built a little bit of the entrance right here because I spilt my blue water. Yes, it was blue water that I spilled. I drink blue water, and I didn't feel like cleaning it up, so I decided to build this very nice architecture just so we could get over it, and then into the nice foyer, I guess we could call it. But you must get past Kevin first. No one gets to the base without first having approval directly from Kevin himself. And then we got Nemo. Can he go? Okay, he can't go inside the water, but he can be near the water, all right? Nemo's water is not like this one. Nemo, can you breathe in there? Okay, no, I see the bubbles. He's breathing in there. He's just not moving. Don't fish need to, wait, hold up, wait, hey, yo, wait, don't fish need to move to breathe? So is this some kind of government spy drone? Bro, birds aren't real, and now these things aren't real. But now we can also add a little bit of furniture to the entryway. So like back here, we can have a nice little hangout area with a mushroom couch. I also have a small puddle right here. We could just, I guess, add this off to the side for some extra looks. It does match, it matches perfectly. We have a rideable sign too, and a wall mounted sign. So I think what we could do is put it right here and say biggest hexagon base. Kevin is here. Boom. Okay, so that will make all of these scammers go away. Trying to steal from me. Kevin will instantly pulverize their pinky fingers. And then we have a rideable sign. I got it. I know exactly what to put. There we go. This is Kevin. Perfect. Now we got some mushrooms. We'll put them around back here. Kind of one over off to the side here. These give off their own glow. It's kind of cool. Now we're not 100% done. This right side over here is a bit empty. We're gonna be moving these things eventually, but for now, this is what we got for the entrance. Now let's focus on the hardest probable part, or probably the hardest part, which is gonna be the farm. I'm gonna put our oil over here. Kevin knows how to drink oil for breakfast. He is the only person alive who can drink oil without dying, and the secret is in the fact that he is in fact not a government spy drone like this fish who still hasn't moved, and his eye is diagonal. Bro, I do not trust this fish. I'm keeping him far away from all the important stuff. He's near the entrance. But now for the farm. I actually do want to build a bunch of farm plots. So let's pick up these ones over here as well. So I do want to make this as nice as possible. It's a little bit hard to figure out what I want to do. Now these saplings, I don't think I'm going to need them. But just in case, you know what? Let me actually plant these. I'm going to plant these for right now. We're going to build the restaurant first. I'm going to plant these so we can get more farm plots. I'm not going to plant all of them. I'll plant a decent bit of them. Like this many's good. And then for the rest of them, we'll just put down here because I'll at least have them for later and they're not seeable. Yeah, there you go. Can't even tell. But now let's build the restaurant. Now I have some crazy ideas for the restaurant because we have, where in the world am I? Okay, there we go. I have a gazebo. Now this is going to be a VIP table. I mean, look at this thing. You put a table on top of it, I think it's going to be cool. So I think back here is kind of uneven, kind of not that great. Here is a little bit more even. So what I can do is have this be here, and I'm begging to the developers of this game, please let me place a table on this. Hold up, what in the world? Where's my table? I can't, what? Oh, there it is. Okay. So please, bro, why, man? No, dude. No, man. Imagine I could put a table up here. This could be Kevin's table, reserved only for him, a VIP. Okay, so that's a bummer. I don't know if we could place anything on it, but I'm gonna have to find another use for it. I was thinking of making a private table, a really cool, really private, just nice vibe, everything, but can't do that. So we're gonna have to figure out something else. Maybe we could put it back here, but that's like useless. There's no point of putting a gazebo anywhere. Maybe, you know what? This is what the gazebo is gonna be used for. If you are an oil tech maintenance guy, you can look at my oil drill and let me know if anything's wrong with it. So far, everything seems to be going pretty smoothly, but now let's actually grab all of our tables, and I want to spread these out nicely. We also, okay, wait, hold hold up. This could be a nice private thing. We have a canopy, and this thing's huge. So yeah, we could have this be a nice private table. Kind of put it back here. And then we could have a wooden table to match the canopy's wood. Where are our chairs at? Yo, did I not buy... There we go. Okay, I don't know how I can't find these things. Okay, so we have 10 old chairs. Gonna put them... Gotta be careful how I do it. There's like holes in the ceiling that I have to line up with. All right, there we go. It's a little bit off, but I kind of have to get it through these holes in the ceiling. But we have a nice private table. Now, we're not done. We're not even close to done. We still gotta add decorations, but we're building the frame of what we want so far. So let me drop these chairs. I have wooden tables and red brick tables. I think I have stump tables as well. Or actually, no, I think I put those for the farm as decoration. All right, yeah, for now, all we have are these tables. Okay, so cool. We have a red brick table. Boom, put that back here. We have another one. Boom, put that back here. Another one. We'll put that smack dab in the center. Switch to wooden table. Put that over here. Another wooden table. Put that, not here, but, right here. That would be kind of nice. Another wooden table. We'll put that in the back. Boom. We have it nice and spread out. I actually do want to move this a little bit over here. The reason I don't put a table right here is because we need a nice VIP entrance straight to it. Hopefully levitating children won't be in the way when customers come, but all the way out to the base, which now that I think about it, this workshop or workbench is perfectly blocking the entrance. All right, so now for chairs. Wooden chairs will go with the wooden tables, and we have 6 chairs, so we're gonna do 2 at each table. There we go. All right, so now we actually have red brick benches and gray brick benches. So for these, we're gonna place these around. We have a lot of them, so this looks nice. We'll do the same thing back here. Oh, would you look at that? Our first customers are trying to break into the restaurant. They really want this VIP table, but they can't have it. So I only have 1 or 2 red brick benches left, so I guess we could do a table for 2 style like this. That's not bad. Yeah, okay, this looks good so far. We just need to add the decoration. We have our first customers breaking in, but these people do not pay. They just murder. You know, I'm actually kind of glad that it's working out this way. I don't know why, but it seems like all the cultists are spawning in one spot, which allows me to just take them out pretty quick. Okay, so let's make this look very nice. Toadstool large, we're gonna put that kind of right here as a nice little thing in front of the VIP table, and another one we can put right behind it for a nice little glow. Now we have some cups. I've never used these before. Can you just place them on any? Yeah, you can just place them right here. All right, so you guys are lucky enough to get cups. Now they are the yellow cups that I got from Chuck E. Cheese, and I drew inside of them with crayons, but you get cups nonetheless. You get liquid. You get to survive. The rest of these people get to die with food. Just no water. If you want water, you can come over here and drink. We just don't have a wet floor sign. Fairy lights though, that will make everything look pretty nice. If I place these in the right spots, kind of in between everything, I think it'll make it look a lot nicer. Yeah, so far this looks a little bit better. We have some plates. All right, you guys are getting plates, but only 2 of you. Oh, never mind. 2 of you are getting 5 plates. 2 of you just got done at the all-you-can-eat buffet and managed to eat more than all you can eat. Drink up. I guess these 2 cups are for you then, not for 4 people. No, maybe this chair here will be the extra chair for your food. Your food will grow sentient and start eating with you. All right, well that's interesting. Candles. All right, candles. We're gonna actually give these... What the what? No way. You can't place these on table, can you? Okay, wooden tables you can place them on. That's good. Not sure why the stone tables don't allow you to, but we'll put candles on these wooden tables over here. You people don't get candles. All right, if you can eat that much food, you clearly see what you're doing. Lantern cylinders. These we could put... What the what? You can't... Hold up. Why? Why can't you put... Oh, that sucks. All right, so we could put them, I guess, in the corner here like this, and like this. At least give them some lighting. And then put another one right here, and then why not a second one for this table? We also have a clownfish chair. All right, well, this is not going here. We're actually gonna put this over in the entrance, so you have a little extra chair to hang out with. We have Goofy Chair Central over here. Yeah, this if you want to go to a doctor's office and feel uncomfortable, these are the kind of seats they have. Cool. All right, we're good. Amaryllis. We got some flowers to add over here. Can you put those on top of tables? Okay, you can. All right, you're gonna be sniffing a flower your entire meal. Your head, my head, will fit in this flour. I will snip the last particle out of this flour if it is the last thing I do. All right, guys, give me like 20 minutes and I'll be back. I even have my hands on it like I'm ready to eat this thing. All right, but for the rest of the flowers, like normal people enjoy flowers, we'll just put them around for some nice ambiance. We'll do like something like this. Got some daisies. We'll do something similar. Boom, right here. Let's have some flower vases. I think we can do something with this. It sucks you can't place them on these tables. It might be only the red ones too. I'm pretty sure you were able to place stuff on the gray ones. But actually, I have the perfect amount of flower vases for the wooden tables. So wooden tables get candles and flowers, and this person gets the flower. All right. Well, actually, hold up. I think we've placed almost everything. Oh yeah, also, I hit day 99. It only took me 3 hours and 15 minutes is closer. 3 hours and 15 minutes, guys. New world record. All right, we have a mushroom couch, but I'm gonna place that over here. We gotta have a very nice hangout area, you know? It's where all the people love to hang out and chill. You know what? We're gonna do one of these. We got a nice little V couch, or L couch, but not fully an L couch. Got some fairy light singles, so we'll put that over here. Or at least we had one fairy light single. Now these gray brick benches, I can't think of a use for them yet, so we'll leave those. Red brick tables, not gonna use any more of those. And I think with that, that is so far our restaurant. I feel like we might do a little bit more, but that's what we got so far. It looks pretty nice. And I think that's 1 out of 6 sections done. Now, the entrance is kind of done, but we have so much to do. All right, so for the farm, we gotta have more farm plots, which I finally have enough wood for. So we're gonna have all 20 in here. It's gonna be kind of narrow. Now, I have an idea. I think this would look actually pretty satisfying. I want to do a line on both sides of the walls here, just going straight to the end. So we'll do something like this, and then over here we'll do the same thing. But I do need it to be kind of far from the wall. So like this. Because I have an idea. All right, well, we did need more than 10 farm plots, but so far I don't think I'm going to use these 8. I actually have an idea. So we have trellis fence painted. We're going to do something like this. We go over here and we're just going to keep on going and see if we can make something nice out of this. I think I have a lot of trellis fences, but we're going to separate them. Now we have a birdhouse. So we're going to actually be decorating this pretty nice. This is going to be a farm and also like a genuine place to be. Birdhouse is going to be right here so they can drink from the water, have a nice little home. That is a very tiny birdhouse. I did not use the inside of this very well. It's just a hole. There's not even a nice indoor like square shape like the outside is. It's just a hole. But let's see, move the trellis fences here. All right, I think we should have enough to do what I want to do. Let's check it out though. Okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna have enough. Now I don't like the green on these. It just blends in too much with the grass. So we're gonna have to pick a different color. Green works with the farm, you know, vegetables and all that. But then again, don't like the matching grass color. So we have this so far. So it disconnects the farm from this area, which I'm gonna make look really nice. I'm just gonna spam a bunch of decorations all over the place, and I genuinely think it'll look good. But for now, I want to have a row of flower bushes and shrubs along the back of our farms. I think that would look really nice. All right, so let's see what we can do. We have flower bushes and shrubs. I'm just gonna try to use whatever we got, just kind of sparingly, not use too much of it. All right, other side. Okay, actually, I didn't have to use all of them. Maybe I could place another one. Nah, I kind of like it this way. So we'll put this off to the side. Then we'll put the shrubs in between, kind of like this. And that actually looks pretty nice. So we'll do the same thing here. Dude, I genuinely think this could be my best looking base of all time. Look at what we've got so far. This is just, it's compartmentalized. It's very cool. So now that we have the sides done, as far as I think we have it done, let's make the center look very nice. So for here, we're going to put a fairy lights arch at the center because it's a genuine place to go into. It's a nice experience. And then we'll just put some stuff all around, just kind of spreading them out randomly. And that'll make it look very natural. We can even put a shrub in here from the leftover one that I had. And I'm trying to find a good place for these stump tables. There's not really many though. It kind of have to go in the back here. All right. And with that, we have a decent area. Not the greatest. I think what would help would be some lanterns. So I do believe I'll be able to take these lanterns from the restaurant and the lighting won't suck. It'll be a little bit dimmer, but it still looks pretty good. And I think it'll make the restaurant, or no, the farm look a lot better. So we'll put these in some random places, just like this. And there we go. I think that lights up the farm a little bit nicely, or a little bit nicer. All right, so we'll see. We'll probably get some more stuff later for this. I don't know how many coins I have though. Also, we have the deer staring at us. That's very nice. Farm just grew in. Now this looks better. Okay, that might have been what I was missing. Now we do the kids' bedrooms. We have a picnic blanket. I think we could do something very nice with this and have a nice picnic area right here, because boys do not like to sit down and eat quietly. They like to throw their food and eat 10,000 pounds of it, to the point your grocery bill is double what it would be without a kid. But besides that, and I'm totally not calling out myself or anything like that, let's see what we can do. We're gonna do a cloth frame. Actually, no, that's not a thing for... That's kind of weird for boys. We're gonna do a cloth frame for the girls' tents, though. We could actually do cloth frames all the way around like this. And I think that looks pretty cool. Bro, this girl, she's gonna think she's a princess. That is perfect. All right, Kraken Kid, you get to be a princess too. Wait, do I have more? Please tell me I have more. Oh, man, I don't want to be out. There we go, cloth frames. Okay, perfect. I actually have a lot more cloth frames. I wonder what we could do with this. Now, for now, let me place these and then take our paintbrush. Paint it nice and blue, and then same thing over here but purple, and I think that looks pretty nice. That's not bad. If only we could paint the beds though. Actually, I have an idea. We could use a stump table right here for the picnic blanket. This will be your actual table. There we go. Put a good use to that. Now we have a ton of bean bags. So many bean bags. So I'm wondering, what can we do with these? I don't think it'd be wise to put it around the picnic blanket, so I guess the boys are getting some bean bags. We're gonna have a nice area here, and the furniture trader just showed up. This is fantastic. Let me place these bean bags down though. So they each have their own thing of bean bags, and let me paint them the right colors. Dino Kid will give him a... He's a little bit more of a faint red. So no, that one doesn't match. This one matches perfectly. Well, maybe not perfect. I don't know. I think this is the closest we can get. And then yellow. So when these kids have businesses and they say, come into my office, this is what you'll see. This is the best office I've ever seen in my life. We have some fairy lights. Let me give those to the girls' tents, both front and back. All right, we're gonna place our leaf pinwheel back here. Would look nice in the farm, but we do need a very weird entranceway because we already have the weird doctor's office thing going on back there. So we gotta keep the trend going. But now let's take the log stools and put them around the picnic blanket. I think that'll look pretty nice. Yeah, just like this. Nice 5 seats. Now we have these gray brick circle things. I think these will look nice in the farm because I can do something like this if I can get it right. Why is it? Oh, I think you have to place these first and then you place the lanterns. Let me also give a nightstand to each of the kids. Wait, hold up. I think I might be... Yeah, okay. I'm placing it backwards. Hold on. Let me redo that. Okay. And now I can finally see the stone lanterns. These are going to be very nice. These have a very nice look to them. We can also place them on top of the stumps. Okay, that's nice. I have lantern cones. Maybe I could put those in the center here. I think that would look pretty cool. Stone lanterns. I mean, I have 2 more, but I don't want to like flood this place. Maybe up front will be good. There's not too much lighting up front. Now my lantern cylinders, I have 4 of them. I'll place 1 back here, and then I'm going to go give 1 to each of the tables again, because I think that'll look very nice. All right, there we go. Everything's coming together. Slowly but surely. I have so much stuff to place. I gotta be creative with it too. So let's see. What can we do here? We can do something like cloth frames behind the kids' beds, just like this. Maybe along the wall. That's a cool idea. The entire like side is the girl's color. So the koala kid gets a bunch of purple, Kraken Kid gets a bunch of blue. Oh, dude, I have 10 of these. Yo, we can make this entire... Dude, this is gonna be fantastic. All right, where else can I put these? I mean, put a little bit on this side here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I have a fantastic idea. We put one in the center, and then we can put one here, and a couple here on this side for her. And then I can figure out what color blue and purple mixed together is and put that as the center one. Okay, so we want a soft bluish purple. Is that a thing? Oh, wait, hold up. I think this is it. Maybe this. No, it's too purple. This would be a nice mix. So this will be the center because it's a mix of their colors. And then she will have them be all pink. And then she'll have them be all blue. Okay. Now we have 2 buckets. Let me place these 2. Can't forget about this. I'll place them closer to the water. Boom. All right. This place is really packed. Looks nice. Dude, the cultists are giving up. They're not. Look, they're both just standing on watch. They're admiring the base. We have one single colorful fairy light single. This is actually a rare item now, so we'll put it in the center right here. We also have some hedgerow curved, so we could do something like this. A nice little extra ambiance kind of feel vibe thing to the picnic table. It feels a little bit more like a forest. And then because I have a little bit more, we can do something like this, where it's a little nook for the light. Boom, all right, that looks nice. That actually does add a little bit to this base. Then we have picket fences, not trellis fences. Don't need those anymore, I don't think. But we have picket fences, and I'm thinking we could do something. We'll do with the boys. Oh, I'm starving to death. Oh, I don't have anything to eat. Hold up. All right, get something over here. I'll just eat up. These things will regrow. All right, there we go. But for the picket fences, I want to add kind of like a neighborly, or not a neighborly, but neighborhood-like feel to their bases. So yeah, he's got a nice picket fence going into his place. I like that. Same thing for the Dino Kid. There we go. Now his is already pretty much perfect color, I think, unless maybe it's the darker one. Nope, yep, perfect color. So we only have to change this to be the lighter red. Perfect. Very, very nice. We got more bean bags. We have a painting portrait. We can put that back here. The most beautiful painting in the world. What will it be? It is the deer trying to pretend to be a YouTuber, making a thumbnail face during a beautiful sunset. Yo, that is a dog. Hold up. No, that's a straight up dog. Where are your antlers? Bro, all right, well, fair enough. But they have a nice painting to look at and to admire. Now for the bean bags. We have so many of these left. I mean, we could just... Oh, wait, I have an idea. Do something like this where they converge and we'll have the colors come in together. Not mix like we did with the girl side. But we'll have them have a clear separation in the middle. Just like this. You can tell whose side is whose. And with that, I mean, we have so much of this base done. Look at this farm. It's beautiful. The restaurant. I would eat here. The boys' base have a nice beanbag array, neighborhood-like fences. And the girls have, I mean, just a crazy... Oh, wait, hold up. I forgot to paint these. But the girls have a crazy amount of cloth frames, making it super nice. Nice little picnic place, beds, bookshelves, all that. The only thing I'm thinking of doing is adding some more utility to back here. Can add a colorful fairy light arch right here as well, so you can walk into the girls' base. So for the utility area, we can add an ammo crate would be cool, a biofuel processor, a radar, some shelving would look nice, a freezer, all those kinds of things. So let me go out and get a bunch of wood and scrap. I cannot wait to see what this thing looks like overhead. Dude, it's gonna be so cool. Even looking at it earlier when it was empty overhead was cool. Furniture trader's back. Well, about to die though. Now we actually have some good items for what I need. More mushrooms, stone pillars, plates for the very, very, very hungry people back at the base. Lanterns will be cool. And another lush canopy. That is good. That we can use. I think that'll actually make the outside, or not the outside, but the entrance look very nice. All right, so let's see. Lush canopy. We're putting this back here. 100%. This will look nice. We got a nice little windmill. We have some stone pillars as well. So we could put them on the sides right here as a nice little extra thing to add. Makes it look kind of more like a Roman place. We have some street lanterns. We could try to do something with that. Maybe here would be kind of nice. Not too nice. Maybe we can have them be like this. Little midway lanterns for the farm. And then for the plates, oh, we know who's getting those plates. Oh, we know who's getting those plates. Hey, guys, I know you ate the entire restaurant's worth of food, but we managed to find more. So eat up and try not to die of a heart attack. All right, we got another birdhouse. We can have bird neighbors. So one birdhouse to the left and one birdhouse to the right. Got some more mushrooms. We'll put that under the gazebo, or not a gazebo, but the canopy here. And there we go. That fills it in pretty nicely. Then, you know what? For some lighting, we'll put in the street lantern to the side. And we do have bean bags left over, so we might as well use them right here. Make them a nice green to match everything. Oh, wait, that reminds me. We forgot about the fences back here. I do want these to have a nice color. Maybe a light blue would look kind of cool. A white could look cool. We'll try white. Yeah, actually, I like white. This fits very nicely. All right, now let's build some of our cool stuff. Freezer, we got that. Shelving we'll build if we need it. Radar, biofuel processor, ammo crate. Now let's make this a little bit more filled in. So the biofuel processor, we can put this in the back right here. Ammo crate, we can have, I think the front side is opposite me, so we can have that be right over here-ish. Right here is nice. Radar, this is the front side, we'll put that right there. And the freezer, we will put that right here. So although it's not totally filled in, it's a lot more than it was. So actually for shelving, I don't know, I don't want to put shelving right in the middle. Actually, we can put shelving right in the middle. I have an idea. Dude, my creative juices have just been drained this video. I have been doing everything possible to make this the most creative base in the world. Well, not literally everything. If I did literally everything, I'd be here all day. But this has been a very nice build. Now we have a center shelving unit, which sits in the center of the room and looks very nice. And then for our oil barrels, I have an idea. We could put them right here, just like this, stack them on top of each other. If I can get it to work, we'll just do this. And the gas canisters we'll put right here. Boom. All right, all the fuel's right next to the oil drill. Very nice. And with that, I think we are done. Take this defensive blueprints. I don't know where we could add these in the base. I don't even need these. We're just gonna take all of these things and throw them to Narnia. You go to Narnia, you go to Africa, you go to Zimbabwe, which is also in Africa, Antarctica for you, Mars, why not? Pluto, not a planet anymore, so we'll actually send 3 of them to Pluto. Pluto probably feels lonely and sad. All right, as we can see, they all made it to their final destinations, but with this, we can do the final base tour. And what I want to see first, while we still have daylight, is what this base looks like overhead. Now, actually, I do need to pick up these torches and put these in the right places, but for now, we are going to just take a look at what this looks like overhead. Oh, dude, look at this! Look at this farm, the restaurant, the nice bedrooms we got going on here. Oh, dude, this is amazing. I can already see what I want to do, too. I'm gonna add some torches to right here to lighten it up a bit. We can add some torches back here to lighten it up a bit. But bro, look at this. This is not... Dude, is this what every base looks like? Okay, I can't really see anymore, but if this is what every base looks like, I have been missing out on a view. All right, well, let's add some torches, and then we can do the base tour. The torches we're gonna put just kind of in the middle-ish here, like this. Light it up a bit more, and then we'll do the same thing for the boys' side. Do a torch right here, and right here. So that is just insane, the base we have right now. And finally, we can do the biggest hexagon base tour in 99 Nights in the Forest. So, coming in, we have our sign. Kevin is here, warning all intruders. Some nice bridges going over the water that I spilled, with Kevin right here to greet you. If he doesn't like you, you will not be allowed in, and you will probably even die. Looking into Kevin's eyes without his permission will, in fact, cause death. Then over here, we have some nice areas. Little hangout area there, little hangout area there. Very nice little entryway into our base. Now, please hop over this literal industrial grinder. Try not to die. And you will see we have 5 other compartments to this base. Off to the right here, we have our utility room, where I'm gonna stack this oil barrel real quick on top of here. We have our ammo crate, radar, boost pad, freezer, some shelving for stuff we might need to store later, even though I'm gonna leave right after this. Biofuel processor, compass sundial map, and oil drill with the stuff right next to it. Very, very nice. But taking a left instead of a right, you will find our farm decked out with so many decorations. Very, very beautiful, especially from overhead. And coming to the place right next to it is our restaurant. If you would like to be seated, please go ask Kevin, but be careful. Again, he might kill you. We have a nice private area over here for those who are inclined to eat the entire world's of food supply. And over here we have the normal people who eat decent amount of food, except for this guy who loves to put his entire head inside of a flower. I mean, it must smell fantastic, but I don't see the intrigue. But for our final 2 compartments, we have the boys and the girls bedrooms, and honestly, pretty much houses. It's like a duplex for each of them. We have yellow beanbags, red beanbags, picket fences for both of them. Looks very nice, and most importantly, the painting of the dog or bear or female wait, hold up. Is this the deer's wife? Is this the dude? If this is the deer's wife, we have just broken all lore in this game. That would be insane. But Coming over here, we have the girls' side with a nice little archway to come through. Picnic area right here. Very, very calming. And they have their own colors that mesh into a color right here in the center. And finally, now that it's turning daytime, the very last look overhead of the biggest hexagon base in 99 Nights in the Forest. Just behold the beauty. Absolutely amazing. Today, I'm going to be building the most satisfying base in 99 Nights in the Forest. Now, you might be wondering just how I'm going to do this, but the plan is to make one of the best looking bases you've ever seen. So for example, the map placement is a little bit off. I did do that a little bit quickly, but we're going to make everything look pristine. And what I'm really excited for are the defenses that I want to put up, because that's what's really going to make the base look nice. And also, in order to get enough saplings for a tree wall, I'm playing lumberjack. That way I have a chance of getting double saplings. But because of that, I'm going to need to find a revolver or a spear pretty soon. Okay, we got good sack. I will take that. But I do need a revolver, a spear, a something. Even an alien gun would work. And I'm also going to make sure I get all the coins I could get, just because we want this base to look really nice. All right, there we go. We did get our spear. So we'll be able to go get the first kid. But for now, I'm going to loot a little bit more. All right, we just got a ton of scrap. Might even get fire level 4. Okay, I'm gonna go chop down a tree for that. Just need 3 more wood, or probably 3 more, maybe even 2 more wood. I'm guessing 2. There we go. Put the rest into here. We'll use that for a farm plot as well. And I actually had someone leave a comment on my video telling me that you can make a cross section with the farm plot. So we're gonna put this off to the side for now. We'll eventually pick it up with the hammer, but still gonna make it satisfying. So when I get 10 more logs, I'm gonna make another one. I'm gonna see if you could really put them in a cross, or maybe you can even make like an asterisk symbol with them. That'd be pretty useful. All right, so for right now, it's not too perfect. I gotta remember to make this perfect. I'm so used to doing this by habit, but we're placing everything around back here, and then the farm plots are gonna be in that cross section I was talking about. But what I'm really focused on is getting the fire to max level right now. Not too focused on the kids, because the fire drains like crazy. All right, so let's see if this actually works. Oh, wait. Oh, it does work. Okay, this is satisfying. We got a hashtag made out of carrot farms. I don't think you can make it into an X, but that is still really useful. Makes it way more compact. I think it'll also help with design too. All right, we got the aliens coming down. That's gonna be good for a little bit of loot. All right, this one isn't the teleporter one, but it does have a ray gun. I will use that. Furniture trader's in town too. We'll have to loop around to him. All right, this is the one that has a teleporter. So I don't want to loot it just yet. I will take the laser sword though, because I need to go talk to the furniture trader before he leaves. All right, let's see. I will take the mossy fences for our farm and the 2 red rugs and also the bluebells, because I do like adding the flowers around the base for the girls' tents. We also can get the second kid real quick. There we go. Okay, second kid is safe, but because I got her first, she now has the red tent. So I'm gonna have to remember that. All right, let me get the crock pot and the boost pad. The crock pot we're gonna put, I think, right here in the center like this. That way I'm gonna put another cross section right here, and we'll have pretty much enough food for, I don't know, me and my ult, and maybe even extra for biofuel in the fire. But as for the boost pad, we're gonna have that be right next to the crafting bench like this. A little off-centered, but we'll fix that when we get the hammer. For now, I need to go get some loot. Even if it's nighttime, I need fuel. Oh, and here's where I get the hammer as well. That's good to know. I'm also gonna drop all my furniture blueprints in here, just because we're gonna keep them hidden. I don't want them cluttering up the base for right now. I also found where the first kid is, so we're gonna get him. Yo, dude, no, that's a jump scare. That's illegal, dude. All right, I'm going back to my campfire. All right, this is enough to get me to the next level. It has to be. There is no way. Okay, I can use some wood though. All right, this should be enough. There we go. Now today I'm gonna get us the old bed and the good bed, and then we're gonna go get the first kid as well. Gotta make sure these line up nicely though. That's good. And then put this one behind them. There we go. Pretty satisfying. All right, got the first key. Or technically my second now. Probably should have picked a better spot for the farm, but we can go to the anvil place now, and to get the scrap and wood is not that hard. Furniture trader is back. Take a quick pit stop before going over to the anvil. Get these camping chairs. Oh no. Oh, I should have bought these. The fairy lights arches would have been great. Well, that's fine though. We did get a lot. We also found the stronghold. Might just loot that, but first I do want to go get the hammer. Don't want to forget. Giant sack too. That's gonna be really useful. All right, I have like a minute to get the hammer and go to the stronghold. stronghold. So let's see if I can do that fast. Oh, we're getting raided tonight. Never mind. Gonna quickly make the hammer though. I think we have time for that. All right, just drop everything down as soon as possible. There we go. Tyr's hungry tonight. I'm glad for that. Okay, so it's a raid. So even though he's hungry, he shouldn't catch up to me. He should teleport to the raid. Yep, there he goes. All right, knight's approaching. Gonna loot the stronghold real quick. Gonna try to do it using the laser sword. Thing isn't bad. Might have to switch to the spear. This thing does take some energy. All right, I'm about to die. Okay, I'm out of here. I am out. Gonna use a bandage. Then I'm gonna use my rifle. And there we go. First clear done. Take the scrap, cultist gems, regular gems, or diamonds to be precise. I'm hoping to get the chainsaw out of this. Or attack. Both will be really useful for me. Alright, dude. I'll pick it up. Maybe I'll give it to my alt account so he's a tiny bit safer. But I really don't know. But it seems like the riot shield is one of the most common mythic items. I think if I get more wood too, I can get the oil drill. So I'm gonna do that. Definitely gonna need it. Alright, got it. Gonna place my furniture in the pond because I can't even see the oil drill. There we go. And then we're gonna put it perfectly parallel like this, or perpendicular, however you view it. And that way the oil just falls right into the fire. But because the oil drill probably won't be enough, I'm gonna also use the biofuel processor. We're gonna put that perpendicular on this side. All right, looks good. Now I'm gonna pick up all the stuff that I placed by accident, or not by accident, but in the wrong spot. Now we're gonna line it up better. So for the map, I want it to be right here, just barely not touching the wall or the crafting bench. That looks good. Compass we'll put on the left side like this. That looks good. Sundial we'll put on the right side like this. All right, looks good. And then the lightning rod, if it can fit, right in between. There we go. That fits perfectly. So we have all of our utilities in one spot and the boost pad on the other side. All right, this should get us to level 6, or at least very close. Yeah, very close. But this should definitely get us up there. There we go. All right, we got the giant bed. Place that behind these 3. And there we go. We have our array of the world's longest bed. If you're 17 feet tall and you try to lay down on it, try to ignore the wooden boards. Other than that, very comfy. Now though, I think I'm just gonna keep looting because I do need to get the strong axe. Oh, there we go. Just got the Morningstar weapon. My favorite melee weapon, both because it's rare and because it hits really hard. Just in time for a raid too. Works really well. It does 3-shot the archers, but it does 2-shot the other ones. There we go. Okay. We got the strong axe. We're now really ready to start making this base as good as possible. I might go loot the stronghold one more time as well, just so we can get a ton of coins. Because we now have the strong axe, we can get a ton of saplings because every tree is 1 hit, and we can also get these big trees around our base. And with the small trees, I have a chance of getting 2 saplings per tree. So there we go. Just got 23 more. Gonna set this off to the side. You know what? I think I'm not gonna go loot the stronghold just yet because we bought out his entire inventory and we still have 140 coins now. But we do need to get started on our base. So the plan is, instead of making the walls a circle like everyone else does, we're gonna try to make them a perfect square. But before we even do that, I do need to go get the next 2 kids. I also need to clean up this mess. All right, we're gonna put the ammo crate right behind the crafting bench. We're also gonna have to move these beds as well. I'm gonna move the red and the blue bed for now because we do have the red and blue tent. Definitely gonna move my farm as well. I've been needing to do that. I think we're gonna have to put the farm somewhere back over here. Put it just like this, and then with the cross section right here. And then now I can put the bed. But I already do have the red rug, so we're gonna place that down underneath the bed. I might have to, I don't want it to go up like that. I might have to place a rug first. Place a rug first, make sure it's nice and lined up. That looks pretty good. That is the most satisfying rug and bed placement I've ever seen. But now we're gonna have to make the outlines of our walls because I do want it to be square, but it can't be right here in the lake. So I'm gonna put a marker for each side. I'm gonna put a marker here. That's 1 sapling. Say we did that. No, okay, we can't go that way. So we can go inward a little bit here, but then we lose so much space. So I might want to go out a bit here, but I don't think you can plant here. Yeah, I can't plant here, so I'm gonna have to do it right on the edge here. So this will be our first marker. All right, so let's start building the tree wall. I want it to be densely packed so that there's no gaps, which is gonna be a little bit costly, but I think it's gonna be worth it. And in order to make this perfectly straight, what I want to do is I want to pick up this sapling, so I'm gonna drop one over here, and I want to replace it just like that so that it's facing the right way, and it'll be, I guess, uniform with all the others. So to do this, I want to do this in first person. We're gonna line it up again, just like that. I think that's lined up. Now we're just gonna go backwards. Oh, this is hard. They keep falling over. If I put them down, they sometimes fall over and they sometimes stay. So I think we might have to do something a little different where we plant them perfectly. So I'm gonna have to learn where they plant. According to this, does it plant in the center or does it plant near the root? Okay, it plants near the top. So the top here is where it plants. Okay, I see. It's like near that little connection of the branches, but slightly under it. So we're gonna have to plant just like this across the entire base. Try and make it as straight and perfect as possible. But I don't like some of these gaps, so we'll have to fill those in. All right, just finished placing all the saplings we had stored up. So far, it's looking really nice. Looks like it'll be a good base in the end, but we're definitely gonna have to get a lot more saplings. Think we're gonna need to cut this tree wall down. There are so many gaps. I think you have to plant them half overlapped in order for them to be no gaps, so I'm gonna have to redo this wall. But we do have the third kid now, so we'll place him down. There we go. And then I'm gonna plant these saplings we have here, and I'm gonna try to get it to overlap. So like right here, that's not even, I don't even think that's good enough. That's good enough. So we're gonna put this one here. That's overlapping. That's overlapping. We're gonna have to do these really close. So we'll see if that works the next day. It hopefully should. There we go. Reached day 99 in about 90 minutes, which also seems to be the day when the furniture trader shows up again. But our wall is fully grown, and there are some trees touching, but there are a lot of gaps, so we're gonna have to plant them closer. But I'm realizing now, cutting all this down gives us enough wood to build the white house, but just call it the brown house because it's made out of logs, or the blue house because they're all wet. So I'm gonna have to get rid of all of these somehow. Probably put them in the biofuel or maybe in the crafting bench. All right, our trees just finished growing, and these ones are really good. So we're gonna do that across the entire base. All right, I'm not happy with this. This wall is not that straight. It kind of curves to the left and then comes back. We're gonna have to chop it down when it's done. So I'm gonna use my remaining 2 saplings on this part, which seems to be pretty straight. Yeah, that looks good. Gonna go get some more saplings now as well. All right, this is looking pretty good so far. Now I did plant the entirety of this wall as we're gonna go out to right here. But the thing is, I realized that I don't think any human on planet Earth can make this perfectly straight. So it is the tiniest bit curved, but when we actually look at it, it does look pretty nice. Oh no, there's one gap I think in this entire wall. Well, no, I guess there's some very 2 tiny ones right here, but we can fix that, and we'll fix this one too. And I have to place this one very closely. This should be good. Then we gotta fix this. All right, this one should be good too. Almost done with this back wall being planted. All right, one more, and this is the back wall planted. So we have about half of the wall done, a little bit more because we have this as well. But in order to make sure it's square, I'm gonna measure it using shelves. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place a shelf barely touching the edge of the wall, and then keep placing shelves over and over until we reach the end where they're barely touching each other to make sure it's square. Might be an almost perfect fit. Yeah, about that. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shelves long. We want a 10 by 10 shelf square. So now I have to measure the other wall just to make sure it lines up, and if it doesn't, we should add a little bit more to it. I think it might add up perfectly. Actually, no, it was a little bit longer than it should have been. So we just need to cut off maybe 4 trees or so. So the first 4. But now that we have all of this already, the raids should be a little bit easier because they're not going to attack my alt account all at once. Especially if I can get this wall to be done, then they're all going to come from this side. All right, we just finished planting all of the saplings. The wall is looking really nice. It does look pretty cool with it all being wood and no gaps except for a few, but that's what I'm about to fix. So I'm gonna go check for all of the gaps. Like right here we have one, right here we have another, there's a tiny one right there, there's a few right here. Just gonna take out this whole chunk, keep looking, gotta make sure there's not a single gap. There's one behind these shelves. I'll pick those up, don't need them anymore. And I think that's it. Maybe I didn't check this side yet. Yeah, this side has one. There's one right here. But that is it. We got all the gaps cut out. Now we gotta fill them in. Okay, that should be every gap. Let me triple check now. Yep, that is every gap now filled in. We have an almostly perfect square. And the reason I say almost is because it is pretty square, but it's not literally perfect. Now I want to add the most satisfying possible way to take out the raiders. And to do that, we're gonna cut a little hole right here. But we're also gonna take all the saplings we have and do something extra with it. We're gonna make this into a tiny tiny hallway, and I'll show you why. All right, that should be all. Actually, I'm gonna use all my sapling. Only got 3 more anyway. And there's the last one. Okay, now it is time to place the best ever trap you'll see in your life. And with that, though, we're on the next day and the wall is filled in. I don't see any more gaps. I'm not seeing them. One here, nope. All right, so we've officially filled in the entire square. We're building this little doorway, which I'm gonna show you is gonna be one of the best things we could possibly have for this. And that's because we can take all 8 of the bear traps we're given and put them in one spot where all of the cultists will funnel into, because when they can't get in through a certain way, they are smart enough to figure out where they can get in by using a doorway or a gap. And because of that, we can abuse that and put all of the bear traps right here. So just gonna place them like this, and there is the 8. This will be the most satisfying thing to see during the raids. Although to get out, I'm gonna have to do something like this. I had a defensive blueprint in here somewhere, but now I just can't find it, so I'm trying to drag these things around. It's all furniture though. I'm getting attacked tonight too. I need to find this thing quick. I remember having one. It shouldn't have despawned. Should still be here. What in the world? Where is it? Did I lose it? I think I might have lost my defensive blueprint. Or maybe it was another game. I have no idea. But we can finally use these bear traps, which if I want to go around them, I can do this. Well, looks like I have to set these back up. No, Dino Kid. No going outside the play today. No, stop. Bro, come on, man. This better not ruin this. Oh, this is perfect. Oh, what? Their bodies set off the traps too? Okay, that's not that good. But at least they're all funneled into here, which is much easier for me to kill them like this. Plus, I can clean up everything at the end a lot faster. Yo, what is with these AI and going for my alt account? What do you want with them, man? There we go. That's the raid complete. No way. No way the pelt trader's coming in my base now. Am I that good at the game that the pelt trader's just wanting to come in my base? Yo, dude, I mean, feel free to hang out, man. It's kind of cool to have you around here. No way you're leaving already. No way. Don't do this. Dude, dude, no. Dude. Well, that sucks. Oh, wait, you can pick up these bear traps. I didn't know you could do that. Yo, what's with these kids and the bear traps? They literally just want... All right, you're forbidden. You're forbidden from my house, sir. Sir, you are forbidden. Vacate the premises or I will call Walmart security and they're gonna greet you at the door very kindly. Yeah, you go greet the Walmart security. I don't want to see you in here again, man. All right. Have a nice day. You too. Yo, these kids are gonna... Are you trying to act... You got almost all of them, man. Congratulations. You should have like 3 toes left. Okay, so I'm setting them up spaced out like this so that there's a space in the middle because it takes 2 bear traps to kill a person or a raider. So I'm thinking if they come in, 2 people will die to those 2 and 2 more people will die to these 2. And this kid... No way you activate all of them. Stop. You're doing this on purpose, man. Now you're walking into a wall. You perfectly activate almost all of my traps and then you walk straight into a tree. I don't believe it. You're faking. All right, gotta set these up. I don't want anybody touching it. That includes you. I know you're faking. All right. I know you're not walking into the sundial. You can't even tell what that says. Probably. You'll have to learn when you're older. For now, we can start making this base perfect while we wait for the next raid. All right, furniture trader is here. We'll get another hedgerow, wooden stools, fences, signpost, and 2 purple pillows. Thank you very much, my good sir. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get all of our furniture, pile it around there. Then we're gonna have to sort it to really fill out this base and make it look really nice. So much furniture though. It is a ridiculous amount. I look at my inventory, man. Yeah, I probably have 50 plus items right now, maybe even 60. I don't know, but we're gonna stack it all up right here. All right, here's all the furniture we have, probably 50 plus pieces. So we are going to make this place look really nice, but I forgot the 4th kid, so we're gonna go do that first. But because it's about to turn night, I'm gonna start sorting a little bit. All right, we have everything now into piles. We have wooden chairs and tables and stools. We have stuff for the kids' bedrooms, which I'm gonna consolidate this a little bit. There we go. Then we have stuff for the farm, which should be huge. Then we have flowers on top of this rock, log benches back here, and camping chairs. So let's figure out exactly what we're gonna do. And what I'm most excited for is the farm, which I think will go back here, especially since we have a natural rock piece right here. I want to include that as part of the design. And then I also want to have something cool back here. It's right behind the Dino Kids base because if you don't remember, they did switch tents because I got them in the wrong order. We are being attacked tonight though. So I'm going to set up these because I know one of the kids probably stepped on them. And then we're going to see how this day goes. Just going to hold out the laser sword because that's what I want to use here. And I'm curious how this is going to work. Let's see. Who are the first guests? Okay, that is not how I intended that to work. Get this guy to come in further. Boom, there we go. Okay, we took out 3 of them with the traps. We can get them to come in further. Now we can do the first person or whatever you feel like doing with the camera lock with our sword. I'm gonna back off a little bit just because I don't want to die yet. I kind of want to finish this. This base is so nice. I genuinely like this. Although it was a hard grind and we're almost on day 300, it does look really nice. There we go. Raid completed. Way easier than the raids in the past. Oh, we got, well, you know what? I'm gonna set up these traps only when there's a raid going. So that way I can just walk straight through. But now we have to build our garden, which might take an eternity, but it is going to look fantastic. I don't know if you guys remember my biggest base video, but that Carrot Garden restaurant, I want to build something similar to that. I'm thinking Carrot Garden Deluxe, Carrot Garden Supreme, Carrot Garden 2. But let's first start with probably what's the easiest. Maybe not the farm, but the kids' bedrooms. We can do that fairly quick. So like wooden nightstand, I know exactly where that's going. We're going to put this right here. It's got to face this way next to Dino Kid's bed. We also have a bookshelf, so we're going to put that behind his bed. We also want that blue signpost. We will put that to the right side of his tent. We also have another wooden nightstand, so we are going to give that to the Kraken Kid. Gonna put it, oh man, this is, I can't even see anything like this. I'm gonna put it on this side because I can still see a little bit. Just like, I gotta line it up. There we go. I like that. That looks good. So she's got a bed and a nightstand. We have a purple signpost. That's gonna be saved for when we get the 4th kid. We do have fairy lights, so I'm gonna count how many I have to see how I want to use them. Okay, I think we only have 2. We have a single and a double. So for the double, we will give to the Kraken Kid in the front like this. Then we'll put this off to the side for the Koala Kid. We also do have another red rug, so we're gonna put that not as a doormat, but as a nice little place to walk around. I know it's like, we also have a red signpost, so we're gonna try to put it in the same way right here, kind of in front, but we're gonna have it right on the carpet. There we go. That looks nice. We also have 3 purple pillows, so Koala Kid is definitely getting spoiled. We have another bookshelf, so it looks like we're gonna give that to the Kraken Kid. I don't even know if we can barely fit. You know what? We're giving it to Squid Kid. You are gonna have the, actually this would be a pretty cool tent, because if I block off the backside with a bookshelf, it makes it a little bit more cozy in there. We do have a 3rd red rug though, so I think what I'm gonna do is connect these two just like this, and that way adds a little bit more. It looks like a bigger area now rather than just a tent and a bed by itself. Kind of disappointed we didn't get any blue rugs. I would want those. I also do want them to make yellow rugs and purple rugs because I don't really have too much furniture for the Squid Kid and Koala Kid. But speaking of Koala Kid, let's go find where she's at. And this is the last one. There we go. I have 2 minutes, so we should be good to get the Koala Kid back home safe. This base honestly looks really cool. I might add some torches out here in the front. That would look real. Actually, that would look nice. It would add a little bit of flair to it, a little bit of a design, a little bit of the entryway feeling. Let me do, oh wow, I do not have any scrap. I might go get some. I'm gonna need it. But for now, let's finish placing all the furniture, which should only be for the Koala Kid. So we have a fairy light single. We're gonna put that in the back center. We're also getting raided, so we're gonna set up the bear traps. Okay, so now I have to take out the rest of these guys. All right, this isn't too bad. It was pretty bad in the beginning, but I think this is the last guy. There we go. All right, I'm gonna go get the scrap, and then when it's nighttime, we'll finish placing the furniture and then place those torches. All right, we got the scrap. I'm gonna place 2 torches for now. Can't place one there, but I can place one here, and I think in doing that, that gives us the room to place this one here. Now that looks nice. That is a very nice entrance. I wonder what else I could put out here though. I kind of do want to put more stuff. I don't think there's anything here I could put. Maybe some kind of furniture. These lights would look nice. You know what? I think I'm gonna use these lights. Let's see how these would look. Oh, these fit almost perfectly. That looks nice. Dude, it blends in with the wood. It's almost like it's not even there. That's really cool. What else do we have? Bro, we could use some of these camping chairs as like patio chairs. I think I'm gonna use some of these. Log benches too. I think I'm gonna make a little sitting area out here, or a seating area, I believe is the grammatically proper term. We got 2 greens. Oh, I want to make them color coordinated. We're making these color coordinated seating area. There we go. That looks nice. It looks like a movie interview. It looks like 2 actors about to be interviewed by 2 other actors playing silly games. Meanwhile, they're getting paid $30 million each. But then I'm going to put the 2 yellow chairs for the director and editor who gets underpaid. Just like that. That looks nice. We like to see it. Feel like I could use a little bit more though. I might add a torch or 2 behind the seats. Don't know for sure. Wait a second. Hold up. I think I found a really cool use for these log benches, but I'm gonna have to pick up all these chairs first. If we take the log benches and don't use them as benches, but a table, how would that look if I line them up? Oh, this is about to be the fanciest table in the game. Gotta make sure it's perfect. How does that? Dude, that's a straight up table. That is a fancy table. That is a very nice table. So now that we've got a fancy outdoor table, we can place the color coordinated chairs properly like this and like this. So I'm gonna scooch in this one a little bit. That looks nice. And then we're gonna do the same thing for each side with its own color of chairs. So we're gonna have a blue side right here. There we go. Already looking very nice. Then a purple side right over here. And then finally the green side. And then what I'm gonna do is something where I'm gonna kill some wolves and put steak dinner here. We're gonna get nice steak dinner. You're out celebrating somebody's 10-year anniversary. Oh, okay, maybe don't go on the table. But we can put some food on here and it's gonna look really nice. So I'm gonna start it out with a nice stew in the middle, a little soup for the table, and then we can go out and get some meat. We can get some chicken legs and some steak. Doesn't this look cozy? Doesn't this look incredibly cozy? Bro, I would live here. Not really, because I don't want to die, but it's still cool. Oh, let's see. Okay, we're not serving any raw steak. I'm not trying to get sued. So we're gonna go cook this first. There we go. All right, let's see. Put that there. That is our entire meal placed onto the table. Now I'm definitely gonna get more torches though. The torches would set the mood for this. So I'm gonna eat this last piece because we're not gonna use that. And then we're gonna go get some more scrap to make this look perfect. Furniture Trader is back today. We're gonna go get a little bit more furniture and also some scrap at the same time for torches. Day 329, man. So close to being done too. Okay, we got blue rugs. I needed those. Wooden fence segments, trellis, yellow signpost. I think I might have already had that, but we'll go check. Very good lot though. I did need those blue rugs for the Dino Kid bedroom. This base looks nice, man. The leaves look perfectly uniform. They're like one giant tree. This is a giant one big tree. All right, I'm gonna sort these out. Wooden fences are gonna go here. Trellis as well. Camping chair. Blue rug. We're gonna save that for over here. Yellow signpost. Just like that. That's what we want. Every kid's got their own signpost. You know what? I feel like a red camping chair would go really nice right here. Do I have one? I might have one. Is that one red? That does look a lot nicer. Adds more utility to the functionality of the open area floor plan of the real estate property that one might want to purchase through a realtor management company. I don't even know if that's a thing. Kind of did forget to get scrap, but I think 2 torches might be enough. Actually, I can make 3. No, I can't make 3. Let's see though. What can I actually do with these torches? Can we place them on the back side here? I feel like that makes it look a lot better. There we go. Look at that. The dark lighting kind of sucks, but dude, even in this terrible color, this is a cozy base. I would live here. I would wish I could live here, man. Let's see what it looks like up close. Dude, this looks like the most delectable meal I have ever set my eyes and gaze upon. These lights, I actually genuinely like how the wood texture is almost perfectly the same. We got the torches as well. Torches back here. Super good meal. Looks very, very nice. You know what? That's probably gonna be the thumbnail. That is such a beautiful opening that's gonna be the thumbnail. All right, now let's finish off this base. We're gonna have to readjust the Dino Kid's bedroom a little bit here to put these rugs, but it won't be too big of a deal. So let's do that. Gonna put a rug right here, almost touching the tent, just like that. And then another one touching that one. There we go. And then the giant bed we'll put in the center, right? Literally phasing through Timmy himself. We're gonna put the bookshelf behind just like we did. That looks nice. And then the same thing, wooden nightstand we'll put kind of in front of the bookshelf, just like that. And then we have another blue rug, which we could put right in front of here, where he'll have a chair, which I'm gonna get from over here. See, where's the blue one? There's the blue one. And the blue one will go kind of off to the side, but still pretty nice. Looking like a very nice base. Gonna have to move some of this stuff out of the way though. We do have a lot of flowers though. I think I'm gonna save those for like the final touches. We do have a bunch of wooden wooden tables. We're gonna use that for our restaurant. And you know what? Our restaurant is gonna be in the corner right here. So first, I'm gonna have to pick up these ones. Gonna have to have the carrots all scattered around Bunny City over here. So I'm gonna have to clear out this whole area, which includes moving my alt account. Then we're gonna take all of these and push them off to the side here. And then we're gonna build our outline. So I'm gonna take all my fences and hedgerows and we're gonna separate all of them. I need to know my exact inventory. And now comes the time to build our very own restaurant. All right, I am back from my final visit from the furniture trader. We're on day 401 and this base looks beautiful. Placing the last little bits of furniture, no peeking. I will show you the finished product when it is done. All right, the base is done. Day 410. So let me give you the tour. We have our beautiful modular four-sided square wall that you can only get off of eBay that is almost perfect, looking beautiful, like a giant kingdom fortress. Then back here we have our oil drill outside, as it doesn't look that good inside, but it puts all the oil into this water right here so it won't pile up too much outside. But as you see in the front, we actually have an outdoor picnic area with color-coded seats. We have chicken legs, we have steak, torches to set the lighting, as well as 2 torches and more lights to enter the base. And when you enter the base, you are gonna see a ton of stuff, but I'll explain to you each part. We have the Koala Kids tent decked out with symmetrical lavender flowers and purple pillows. Her very own purple signpost, as each of the kids have their own color signpost. Squid Kid has more of a basic base because the furniture trader refuses to sell me yellow furniture. But the Dino Kid and the Kraken Kid actually had their tents swapped. So this is the Kraken Kid's tent right now, decked out in all red. 3 chairs, 1 bed, nightstand, 2 magnolia flowers, 3 rugs, making a very nice, almost hotel room feel. Then back here we have the Dino Kid's base, which is now blue. He has his own giant bed, his own chair, nightstand, bookshelf, and signpost. But back here is interesting because we have a hangout area for the kids with their very own bed if they feel like taking a nap, or their very own pillow and 3 camping chairs in case they feel like hanging out and talking. All of this perfectly designed according to my own feelings and personal opinion, which means it's perfect. We also have our crafting bench here, complete with your very own boost pad if you feel like getting out of the base pretty quickly. All of our utility items right here. We actually have our biofuel processor as a blueprint just to keep it nice and neat, tucked away. Ammo crate in case you need more ammo. Chicken that I don't know what that's doing there. But here we have Carrot Garden 2. One of the most hottest restaurants out in town right now. Right now it's closed, which is why there's nobody inside, which is where we have our green signpost signaling that we have moss all over our fences and in our food. Blue flowers here to try and show that we're a lively place even though we have literal poison in our foods. Then when you walk inside, we have a beautiful rock sculpture right here of a rock. Then we have our table for 5. Very nice. Torch lighting sets the mood. A more private and tucked away table here for 3. And back here is where all the food is made. You have your own cook pot with 2 barrels, which have I don't know what in them, but you might be able to look at them and think that you're a professional chef. Then we have cross-sectioned carrot farms. Very, very efficient for spacing. We have 3 of them with a staff break room. Yes, I know it's hard to believe, but this time I'm giving my staff 6-minute breaks after 13-hour shifts. So if they feel like it, they can actually sit down, eat some carrots. If they feel like it, here they go. And they can only eat meals that I provide for them because it's cheaper that way than them for paying their own lunch. And I also forgot to mention, we have our very own custom bear traps that aren't custom. I'm just saying custom because it sounds cool. That, when needed, you can actually lay out as a welcome mat for any cultists that feel like coming into your base. So we'll just leave that one there. And with that, I honestly could keep going, but I'm afraid I'm gonna disconnect. We're on day 419. I've been so close to disconnecting multiple times, but this is the most satisfying base. I definitely think overall it is the best base design that I've done so far. Has maybe the most furniture as well. The walls too, very, very beautiful. Because the fishing update is now here, I can build one of the coolest bases in the game. I'm gonna be building building the biggest food base, where I'm gonna have 3 walls. One with the max level fire ring, the second where we have 5 torches expanding the base, and the third where we have 10 torches expanding the base, all with different types of food. Now, you just saw it, but I have no idea what we're gonna do with this base yet. I'm not sure which food we're gonna put in which ring, but I do know it's gonna look very cool. Now, I did just realize though, I'm playing the fisherman. Instead of playing the fisherman, I'm actually gonna play the farmer. That way we can get a ton more food, and that should be more efficient than just getting better fish. So let me quickly get fire level 3, and we're also gonna be getting all 4 kids for this base. All right, fire level 3. Now I do need to go find a weapon before we go get the first kid, because I do want to be careful. I don't want to die. Or actually, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take all this coal, and this might be enough to get me to fire level 4. See if this works. Almost. Let me actually just get a bit more wood, and we can get level 4 fire pretty much right off the bat, and hopefully that'll help us find a weapon faster. All right, there we go. Got 3 wood left over for a map as well. We're already doing pretty good. We're gonna build this base as fast as possible, giving us more time to make it really good. There we go. Okay, we got a rifle before even anything else, but this will be good enough to go get the first kid, and definitely the second kid. We just need enough ammo. Wait, whoa. I think they fixed it. The farmer used to not actually give you apple trees, but we just got an apple tree. Interesting. Okay, so I could pick the apples just like this by putting it in the sack, and I think you cut it down just like any other tree. So actually, that'll help us to get a bunch of apples. We could use that as part of our food. So we're just gonna start a little pile right here, and right now I'm just eating a bunch of morsels because I don't have any stable source of food yet. But let me get the good sack real quick, and now let's go get the first kid. All right, first kid is safe. I'm also gonna get the good axe with the... Oh, interesting. Wait, why in the world would I trade for an old rod? I'm actually a little bit curious about that. There's like 17 of them back here. Yeah, I see them right there. They're all right here. I wonder, why does he trade them? That's interesting. Maybe in the future they won't have this building here. I'm not sure. But let me try to cut down this apple tree, see if it gives more wood or less wood. Yeah, it seems to be about the same wood. We got 3 right here, 3 right here, 3 and 3. Okay. Now for this base, I'm gonna have to get an absolute ton of scrap because we're gonna be using shelves to build our walls. And each of those, although they're only 2 scrap, it is still gonna be a lot of shelves. All right, we just got level 5 fire. We also got a spear. So let me use that to go get the second kid. And I'm trying to think what we should do for this base. I'm thinking the inner ring should be the more rare foods because I'm not gonna have as many of them. And then the outer ring should be something just ridiculously easy. So I think the outer ring, what we should do is, because even we're playing the farmer class, the outer ring should be full of fruit or vegetables that you grow out of the ground. Don't think you can grow any fruits in this game yet. Actually, I can grow the apple because I'm the farmer, so we might put that in the outer ring as well. Well, it's a little difficult to get the second kid when all 4 of them are chasing you, so let me revive. All right, second kid is now safe. I do need more rifle ammo before I go get the third kid though, but we have a ton of wood and scrap, so let me upgrade the crafting bench twice, and then let me also start to get farm plots, which we're gonna be using these in these asterisk like patterns. So right now it's in a plus sign, but you can plant, I don't know, like 10 of them on top of each other by doing it diagonally and very precisely, which will allow me to literally water like 10 farm plots all at once, making this way more efficient. And because I'm the farmer and I have the max level, every single farm plot will get me at least 1 pumpkin. So we're gonna have a very nice food source and also a lot of pumpkins for our wall. But in order to start the wall, we do need the level 6 fire. So let me get the sundial just so I know what time of day it is. We got a minute 40. I think I should just go out and loot, try to get some fuel, and then come back to the base. Okay, this is perfect. I just found chili seeds. I'm gonna pick those up. I'm also picking up all these fruits and vegetables, and the chilies will actually add a lot to our variety. Now, the one thing I do need to do better is that I haven't been picking up cakes. I've been eating them. So instead, we need to pick up the cakes and bring them back, and I'm wondering how many we can get. Got a bunch of fuel. Don't think this is enough for fire level 6 though. We're about halfway so far. All right, just got another farm plot. So we put it just like this, and we can put a bunch more when we have the wood for it. So let me actually go get more wood, and then we'll also replant the saplings. And while we're going out and getting scrap and fuel, we should have enough food for what we need. We only really need 20 farm plots and maybe a few other things. I'm not exactly sure yet. We're gonna have to think about that. All right, we already got some of our food to grow, but now I'm gonna start separating it. So pumpkins we'll put here. We'll pick up the apples and we'll put them over here. Add our carrots right here, and corn off to the side. Now these are all most likely gonna be in the outer ring, and then I'll probably put fish on the middle ring because fish are decently easy to get. But as for the inner ring, I'm wondering what we can do. But let me just get some chilies real quick because I do see a bunch of them around me now. All right, there we go. Got 25 chilies, and I'm actually gonna go grab a few more. I also do want to get the berries. These are gonna be nice for the base. Put our berries off to a separate pile, and so far everything's going good. I just do need to go get more fuel. So let me also get a biofuel processor and a boost pad. I also just realized we do need to get the third kid. So we found the place by accident, but I do need to take care of these wolves too because I prefer life. Not having bite marks in your legs is actually a pretty cool feeling. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced it, but that's what I'm trying to do right now. Got the bear pelt, which will give us the final pelt trade, and and an oil barrel. These are what we need right now. Got the strong axe too. That'll actually help us to get some wood. There we go. All right, we're back to the base. My fire is also about to go out, so it's a good thing we have fuel. Third kid is back at the base as well. Pelt trader also just showed up. That's perfect timing. And we have more apple trees as well. Let me get the iron armor. We need that right now. I'm getting close to dying quite a lot. All right, let's see. Do the apples just fall? Okay, they do. So you can just cut down the trees and the apples will be there. All right, we're about to hit fire level 6. I'm just gonna get a few of these carrots. We're gonna be growing a ton of them anyway, and that should get us to the max level. There we go. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut down all the trees we have right here and get a few more farm plots just so we can get our fruit up pretty quickly, because we are gonna be filling up an entire level 10 torch wall with a bunch of vegetables and fruit. And that's probably gonna take quite a lot, so it's always good to start as soon as possible. I'm also curious how many farm plots you can get in one spot. So let me craft 2 more, and with this will be 5. So there we go. There's 4 and there's 5. Use the watering can as well. There we go. So now we need to build an entire wall made out of shelves around this circle, and then we'll make it bigger with torches. So one thing I just realized, the apples seem to be bugged. If you pick them up after chopping down a tree, they don't appear in your sack. There's nothing in here. And I'm not eating them too because my hunger bar is not going up. So for now, I'm just gonna eat and they don't even work. Okay, so don't just chop down the tree. Make sure you pick off the apples if you can. So in order to preserve the apples, I'm gonna plant these in a line like this. Not as a wall, but just to have them a little bit separate. But we do also have 50 more wood, which means we're gonna have a total of 10 farm plots now. So I wonder, can we plant all these? There's 6, there's 7, there's 8, there's 9, and there's 10. 10 farm plots in one. It almost looks like a circle now, but because I can water them all at the same time, it makes it a lot easier. But now let's make all of our shelves, which will actually be 30 whole shelves already, and let's see if we can fill in this first wall. All right, we just placed all of them. That's 30 shelves, and we are close to being done. We have about 25% left to go. But now what I'm gonna do, we're gonna go get a bunch of scrap because we're gonna need about 60 for all 10 of our torches, and also a ton more for the walls. So I'm gonna be looking for things like washing machines, tires, microwaves, and also the engine. And we will also make a crock pot. That way I can have food whenever we go out, but also for the wall, which might be what we make our inner wall. Inner wall will be stew, then we'll have fish, then we'll have fruits and vegetables. That actually might work. Or maybe the inner wall could be, I actually do have a few ideas now, because what are we gonna do about things like cooked meat and cooked steak, or cooked morsel and cooked steak? Not exactly sure, but at least I have ideas now. We also did get the morning star, so not bad. All right, this is really good. We found a very big lake with the bones in it, and we also found the 4th kid's location. So let me see if we can get the 4th kid really quick. All right, this will be the last bear. He fell right in there too, and we got the 4th kid and a mythic chest, and we got the riot shield. I don't think I've ever actually used the riot shield other than just holding it out. Okay, this is not good. My flashlight just ran out of battery, and we're out in the very outer ring with a bunch of bears, and the deer chasing me. I hear his footsteps, but I don't see him. We're also low on hunger, so I need to make it home as fast as possible. All right, we're back to base. I'm gonna eat a couple pumpkins. All right, 4th kid is safe, slightly over the apples, but that's fine. And our apple tree grew, so now let me grab all these by hand. There's also a few of them that seem to be in between. Yeah, right there. Okay, this is interesting. We got a bunch of our farm plots to grow. We also got a piece of cake. So let me put that off to the side. Let me grab all these pumpkins too. It's an insane amount of pumpkins. It's like 11 pumpkins in just one tiny spot. Insane. We're gonna have a lot of food. Grab all the corn as well. There were more pumpkins than corn. Then let me grab these 50,000 carrots. I'm also gonna use a few of these for some biofuel because we're gonna have a ton of them anyway. Let me also get this wood, and we're gonna see if we can build even more farm plots on top of the ones we already have. All right, we got 50 wood. Now I am gonna use half of it on building torches, or actually that was a little bit more than half, so that way we'll be ready for when we want to expand the base. So I'm gonna build 2 more farm plots, a bunch more shelves, which should definitely finish out the wall. Then we'll place our torches for the next wall. So let's see. All right, this will make 11, and this barely will make 12. Insane how you could just place all these right on top of each other. But now let's finish that wall. All right, this should be the last. Actually, I want to place 2 shelves just in case. I want there to be no gap. There we go. All right, the first wall is officially complete, and I do think we should make this inner wall full of, maybe not stew actually. Maybe the second layer could be, I'm not sure what I want to do. Meat is insanely hard to get. This amount of meat, oh, is absolutely ridiculous. This is gonna be so hard to get. So the first wall, we're definitely making meat. We're gonna make it cooked morsel, steaks, and maybe even a few ribs if we go to get some mammoths. Now we have fish and fruits and vegetables left, and also stew. Now I'm thinking that the middle wall will make it full of fish. I think that would look pretty cool. And then the outer wall, we will make that of stew and vegetables and all that. So stew will actually be with the vegetables. And we also got another piece of cake because we have so many farm plots. It's actually coming by pretty quick. All right, so I'm gonna put my shelves off to the side, or at least the extra ones that we have. Then we're gonna place our 5 torches around the kids' tent. So 1 for each tent, and then we'll also put 1 behind the campfire. So now the new wall is gonna be out here with even more shelves filled with fish, which is probably gonna take an an insane amount of time. I'm hoping maybe that sharks will take up an entire shelf. That would help a lot, but I guess we'll have to find out. All right, so I think what I want to do now is we're gonna go get our fishing rod to level 2. So I'm gonna use these fishing spots right here. Actually, you know what? I don't want to use this one. I want to use one that's further out and is a level 2 lake. That way we can get some salmon a lot faster, and although it might be a little bit harder, the XP is worth it just because the mackerel barely gives you anything. All right, here we go. This should be a level 2 lake. The color does look different. Yeah, there we go. We already got a hard one right off the bat, and I failed. There we go. Yeah, that's a ton of XP, so we just got to keep doing this. All right, so far we got 6 salmon, and also we're halfway to level 2. There we go. Our rod is ready for upgrade, so let's grab all this salmon, and then I think I'm gonna go out to the level 3 lake to try and get the strong rod as fast as possible. Put it in there, get the upgrade. All right, so let me drop off these salmon. We're not gonna be cooking them because if we cook the fish, they're all gonna be the same exact color. But now let's see, where is the 4th kid? I remember a lake being by where the 4th kid was held. Actually, you don't see it. Okay, it might be right here, this bottom right. It is covered up by a chest a little bit. So we're gonna have to go down to the bottom right. We also got more trees growing in, which means I think we'll be able to finish out our farm plots and make as many as you could possibly build. Okay, we're not there yet, but we have 4 more farm plots, which means this will bring us up to 16 in one spot if we can get them all placed, which it seems like we'll be able to. There we go. It is insane how many of these you could place on top of each other. But now let me head down to where the 4th kid was kept and let's fish in that lake. Got another piece of cake, and here's the lake that I was looking for. So let's see what we can get. I'm thinking the swordfish shouldn't be too difficult. It might be just as difficult as the salmon was with the old rod. Okay, this is actually pretty easy. Hold up. Okay, it was a cultist gem. Nothing crazy. All right, now we got something going. That's the sword. Oh, dude. That gave me like a third of my XP. That is insane. All right, we got another one coming right here. All right, one more fish and we'll get the strong rod. All right, should be it. There we go. Rod is ready for upgrade. Let me take all this stuff back to the base. Okay, this is insane. This is just an insane amount of food. Now I'm gonna let it go by maybe a couple more days. That way they should actually, no, we're gonna do that later. I want to have all of them be in sync so that we have everything grow all at once. So for now, let's actually harvest all this. And in order to make a bunch of stew, I actually have a plan for that. I just need the materials to make the crock pot. It is insane how many pumpkins we have. We're starting to have more pumpkins than anything else. All right, let me go upgrade our rod. And then for today, we're gonna get some more wood just so that we can get the final farm plots that we need. And then we'll go back to fish some more for all the fish we're gonna need. We're gonna need an absolutely insane amount of fish, while also getting some wolves on the way, maybe even bears, and maybe even mammoths. That might be the most worth it because mammoths are kind of easy to take down if you know what you're doing, and they do give a ton of food, but we'll see. I would like the tactical shotgun. That would help me a ton right now, but then again, the ammo is expensive, so I don't know. Okay, this will be enough to make all 20 farm plots, and we're gonna see. I'm assuming this will work. Place all of them. Yep, there's a spot right there, just barely. Try right here. Yep, there we go. And let's see, this might be a little difficult, but I do see it, so there we go. And there is all 20 farm plots in one place. I'm just gonna water all of them, and then I'm gonna wait a few days to even harvest it. That way they'll all be on the same schedule, so we'll just have a ton of stuff growing all at once, harvest it, and then repeat. So now what I want to do is I want to head out and actually get more scrap. We'll have that for our wall, but also to make the crock pot, because we do want to start making stews as soon as possible. Okay, this is good. We got 2 bases and a water tower right next to each other. That's gonna be a lot of scrap, but first let me try to get my stuff without dying. There's so many animals around here right now. Now I could just snipe down at the crossbow guy, because he's actually the most dangerous. His aim is insane. I have no idea why they made the aim so incredibly crazy on this guy, because it used to be worse, but probably a while ago they made it better. Oh, you've got... Dude, what in the world was... That was Batman? Alright, take 2 to go get my stuff. Alright, I have to be careful. I'm gonna try to take these guys out one by... And there's a bear. Alright, I think I took out everybody. There's another wolf that just spawned, though. Alright, that should be everybody. I'm gonna check up on the roof just in case. Alright, there's one more guy off to the side, but at least he's not on the roof. 2 guys, okay. Got 1. Okay, I'm out of rifle bullets. This is not good, but I do have the things that are trying to chase after me inside of the base. So we'll just take that and we'll take all our stuff. I do need food right now, though, so I'm gonna take a med kit and eat some raw food. All right, let me just get the last 2 chests and we'll actually have a ton of stuff. Now let me get the water tower because this always has good stuff. Nothing here on the bottom. We did get a microwave and oil barrel though. All right, I'm gonna quickly loot this base, which is pretty easy because all you gotta do is get the stuff on the bottom just by running through, and then when you manage to parkour up top, no one can get to you. I do really badly need some food though, insanely badly. So I'm gonna take my morning star and we're gonna go get an alpha wolf really fast and eat the raw steak. Okay, now I'm heading back to the base. This is a little little dangerous to still be out. But furniture trader's here too. So let me grab these coins and then see what we can get. We can add a little bit to our base. Let's see what he's got. We're gonna get our rainbow fish lounger. We're gonna get the snowman and the icy throne. Then we'll get some flowers. That'll help make the base look nice. And then we got the flowers. We'll also get the hedgerows because it is a food base. So the hedgerows will look nice around the farm, even though the farm is tiny. So I wonder how we're even gonna use those. All right, we got 95 scrap. So that'll get us the crock pot. We just need a little bit of wood. All right, we got enough wood. Now I want to show you guys something interesting that I saw in a YouTube short. If I put my crock pot right here, then we build 4 wood rain storages and put them around just like this, pretty much touching the crock pot, just like this. This looks pretty good. We can now take an absolute insane amount of carrots, and instead of having to wait for our stew to cook, we could just drop all of the carrots into here, and it'll continue to make stews pretty slowly because usually you have to take out the stew to do it faster, but it will still cook them pretty much automatically. So we're just gonna shove all of our carrots into there. All right, we got a bunch of carrots in here, so that'll just start making us stews, of the which it's already made us 2. All right, now that we got our crock pot going, let's make the second layer wall. So we're gonna craft as many shelves as we can, and then we're also gonna pick up the leftover ones we have, and I'm assuming we might be able to finish half of it. So let's start from right here and then work our way clockwise. Okay, I messed up a little bit right here, so I'm gonna instead go the other way, and then we'll eventually get a hammer to fix that. All right, so we have a little gap right here, but it shouldn't really matter too much. I just don't want to curve it inwards right here because then that just leaves a wall in between it. It's like a secondary mini wall for this lake, but we're just gonna keep going. All right, here's our last shelf, and with that, we'll actually have finished more than half of the second wall. I just need the hammer to fix this little mistake right here. Okay, so now I'm gonna go get more scrap so we can finish the second wall, and then we'll finish the third wall, or at least that's what I'm planning on doing, and then we'll start getting meat for that inner wall because the inner wall is gonna be the hardest. Getting meat is not easy. It takes a lot of ammo, or if I use the Morning Star, I should be able to get a lot of steak from wolves. I also got a mythic chest right here. We will take that. All right, thorn armor isn't bad. We'll take that. All right, we're running out of area to look for scrap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the winter biome, make some bunny ears because we already have 2 bunny feet, and then we'll get scrap over here, which should be slightly easier. Actually, I might as well just get the Arctic Fox Bell. I just got 2 already. Now it's 3. All right, we got 3 pretty fast. So let me go make that, and then getting scrap actually should be easy out here. There we go. We reached day 99 in 1 minute less than 2 hours. So we got a little bit longer to go until we can finally get this base finished. Just doing a ton of preparation right now. We have 130 scrap. This should be good enough to definitely finish the second wall and also get a huge portion of the last wall done. I have no idea how many shelves I have. 130 shelves though should be about 65 shelves. And there we go. Second wall is complete. But before we build the third wall, I do need to make more torches. So we're gonna have to go get a little bit more scrap. But then we can start filling this thing out with as much food as possible. All right, we've waited quite a few days for our farm. So now let's finally harvest it. And all 20 farm plots should be synced up. So we got 17 pieces of corn, probably 20 pumpkins. Yeah, there we go. Exactly 20. It's an insane amount. Got a piece of cake, extra piece of corn that I didn't get. And now an absolute insane amount of carrots, which we're gonna drop both a little bit into the fire to get that up and also into the stew maker. All right, fire is about max. And then let's just keep dropping these in here. All right, this looks pretty good. Starting to even cover up the crock pot a little bit, but we'll let that go. And now I think the best thing to do is to go... Actually, you know what? We're gonna fish a little bit right here. With the strong rod, it probably is gonna be really easy. That way we can get a ton of fish for this second row because there's no way I'm filling the entire second row with sharks. That is insanely hard. No way. I got a clownfish the first try. That's insanely rare, is it not? Yeah, I got a mackerel the second try. I guess if I keep fishing, I'll tell whether or not the clownfish first try is rare. It seems to be insanely rare. Okay, that's interesting. I got 2 clownfish now. And although I'm getting mostly mackerel, I do think that the 2 clownfish is insanely rare. What in the world? Yo, I just got a swordfish out of here. I have no idea how rare that is. Actually, you know what? It might actually be worth to fish out by where the 4th kid was because that's a level 3 lake. And I'm thinking if I put mackerel here, how many can I fit? 6 mackerel per shelf. But a swordfish, I actually don't know that. I actually have no idea to tell. But I do think I might be able to fit less swordfish per shelf, which should fill up the shelves faster. But for now, let's take all of our fish and we'll put them over here. All right, I seem to have messed up the timing for our fruit to grow, or maybe there is no way to sync it up because now it seems like it's not synced up, but we'll still harvest it anyway. All right, this is actually starting to lag me out a little bit. It's about full, pretty close to being full, but I think I'm just gonna let that sit for a while because it is starting to lag me a little bit. Now let me go out and get some more scrap, which we'll need for some torches. All right, we're back to the base. I'm starting to run a little bit low on scrap, or at least areas to find scrap, but we can make our last 5 torches and even more shelves, so that's good. So now let's place our torches, one more behind the crafting bench, and then one more for each of the kids' tents. All right, so now let me pick up, I'm gonna just pick up half of these, and then now we have the room to make the final wall for the base. Now the 10 torch wall works a little weird because I can only build out this far, but it does say I have more room, so we'll have to build just as close as we can to the edge. All right, with this we finished just about half of the wall. So now let's pick up the rest of our shelves and see what we can do. This does give me confidence though, because we are running a little bit low on scrap, but we're almost done. All right, with this we actually don't have much left, maybe 30% of the wall left to create, and then we can start filling it in. But let me also get some more food, because dude, I have no idea just how much corn and pumpkins and carrots we're gonna need for that final wall. I'm also gonna start putting off my carrots to the side. Maybe we could fill up a few shelves with these as well, because our stew maker is just full right now and I don't want to lag us out. Actually, it's not that full anymore, but I don't want to make it full again. All right, I'm gonna head out today to get what should be the last bit of scrap that we need. But let me actually grab some food first. I don't want to starve. You know what? In order to get a little bit more scrap, I'm gonna take out the first level stronghold. That way we get the cultist prototype and maybe even the experiment, but I know we at least get 2 of whichever ones it gives me. So let's actually do that. Shouldn't be too difficult, especially with the morning star. And there we go. So we got a prototype, an experiment, gem of the forest fragment, 2 cultist gems, and now we got the mythic chest. Hoping for a tactical shotgun, because that will help us to get, there we go. Okay, perfect. Actually, that will help us to get a ton of meat. I'm actually gonna start bringing back some as well. I think the first places that I want to go check are the places where the kids were held, because there should be just a ton of meat right there. All right, the stew maker is starting to go down a bit, so I'm gonna just put these carrots off to the side, and then we'll pick up all the stew, of which I have no idea how much is in here. It is a lot. All right, just start dropping these, and there we go. Probably doubled or even more this pile right here. All right, so let's take the scrap that we have. We'll build almost as many shelves as we can, just so we don't waste, and let's see if we can finish this 3rd wall. Then we'll just go get as much meat as we possibly can with the new tactical shotgun we got. All right, I'm glad we didn't build too many shelves, because now I only have 1 extra and all 3 walls are done. So now we're gonna have to fill these up like crazy. We're gonna start with the inner wall. We're gonna leave everything else and just start with the inner wall with meat. So let me start by putting some cooked morsel right here, and then we'll put some cooked steak right here, and then we'll work the steak this way and the cooked morsel this way. Dude, it is just insane. We have a mountain of pumpkins over here. I'm just eating pumpkins for food right now. All right, I got my tactical shotgun. Don't know how many shots. Okay, we got the owl too. That's not good. I'm also about to die, and I don't have any heals on me, so I'm gonna have to be very careful with how I hand, and I'm dead. All right, we got a bunch of food. I think we also got 2 polar bear pelts. We got 1 here, and I think another one from the polar bear we killed earlier. Just need to find that. We also have more meat here, so I'm gonna remember to come get that. But for now, I think what we can do is make the polar bear helmet. Yep, we should be good to do so. There we go. Now I'm gonna try to kill a mammoth and see if that is worth it. All right, let's see how this goes. It will give us a few ribs when we kill the mammoth as well. All right, there we go. We got actually a bunch of steak, but I don't think that's worth it, because although the steak does give you more hunger, we're just trying to fill the shelves right now. Okay, this is perfect. We got a fishing spot right here. So what I'm gonna do is keep backing out of it until we get a shark, and that way we could see how many sharks will fit on a shelf. All right, we got our first one. We also did just get the old boot, so we'll take that, but I did forget the shark thing. So although I'm kind of glad we got the old boot, I do need to get sharks. All right, we got all the meat here. There might be a bit more back here. Okay, perfect. All right, let me start sorting some of this meat that we have. Gonna try to grab all the morsels and then just place them on the shelves. But we have so much stuff right here, and I think we could fit about 4 morsels per shelf. Yeah, okay, so it's not dropping anymore, which is actually pretty good, because morsels are easier to get than steaks, and actually less of them go on each shelf. All right, this is what we have so far. Almost 3 shelves of steak. We had a little bit of ribs on there, but one of them fell off, and a ton of cooked morsels. So we're not halfway done, but I think we're about 25, maybe 30% done. So this is gonna be a little difficult. So now let me see if I can find the location where the 3rd kid was kept. Here was the 1st, I think here was the 2nd, but I don't see the 3rd, and that's not a good sign. Okay, the meat is now starting to fall like it's moon gravity. I think we have so many pieces of things like the vegetables back at the base that we're starting to lag out the game. Oh yeah, this is not looking good. This is not good. Okay, this is pretty bad. All right, we got some meat pretty fast. We're also gonna grab this scrap, because I'm thinking for fishing we might as well well make a teleporter, because I do think although it'll take a lot of scrap, it'll be worth our time to do it, because then we'll be able to go back and forth between fishing a lot faster and even bring the fish back to base a lot quicker. So let's see, we have 36 scrap right now. We can get the crafting bench 4. To get 2 teleporters, we need 50 scrap and 30 wood. The wood is very easy. We have a bunch laying right here, so we're gonna get that very fast. But the scrap is what I'm worried about, because we were already low earlier. But I do think that just from fishing, we can get some scrap anyway. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go fish, and then the scrap that we get, or maybe even find while doing other things, we'll use that for the teleporter. All right, I'm lagging a very decent amount now. Everything's moving really slowly. So in order to combat that, we're gonna start placing our fruit and our vegetables. And I'm assuming that should make it less laggy when stuff is on the shelf. All right, we got the last of the pumpkins, and so far we already have all of this. Let me just fill up this last little bit. There we go. Oh wait, I forgot. We have more growing over here, so let me grab these too. All right, now this is all the pumpkins we have. It's an insane amount. Seriously, it's insane. Now one of these shelves right here, it wouldn't let me put 9, and I think these ones also might have done the same thing, but we have just, I don't even know how many this is. So now let's start with putting our stews as well. Now these are going to be a little bit more difficult because they're in your inventory, not in your sack, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave extra room for a lot more pumpkins. We're going to start right over here with our stews. All right, there's all of our stews. We also have an insane amount of those. Now we're going to start with our corn, and this is just a ridiculous amount as well. So we're going to leave a gap for some stew. We're going to start right here. Now it takes a lot more corn to fill up a shelf, so the corn shouldn't take up too much space. Okay, this is interesting. This shelf did not want to take a lot of them, and I think this is helping the lag. It seems to be everything's moving a lot faster now, probably because there's less collision. Everything's just resting on the shelf. All right, I have 6 more pieces of corn, and although we do have some shelves that aren't taking as much corn as others, this is what we have so far. So now it's, wait, hold up, I just realized I almost finished the entire circle with all this. Where in the world are we gonna put carrots? Maybe instead of these gaps being for extra fruits, we could just fill them in with carrots, because wow, okay, that was pretty fast. So let's go ahead and do that. I also didn't place any apples or chili peppers yet, so I'm just gonna place a few carrots over in this section, then we're gonna go place our chili peppers and our apples as well. All right, let's grab our apples and we'll do these first. We're gonna put them on this edge of the stews. All right, we have 2 extra, but we're just gonna go ahead and eat these to make it look nice and perfect. Now the chilies we're gonna place over here, not next to the apples, just because they do have a very similar color, and I don't think this shelf is even usable. Yeah, this shelf isn't even usable. Hold up, can't place any chilies. I think I placed 1 chili on there, or maybe it just fell on there because I can't even use that shelf. So we're gonna start over here then. Wait, hold up, I don't think it's a shelf problem. I think it's all the shelves problems. I don't think you could place chili. Okay, guess you can't do that. That's I have no idea why that's a thing. So we're just gonna keep these over here because I do have a bunch. But as for the cake that we have, I'm gonna put these onto a shelf in the inner ring. So we're gonna move this morsel shelf off to one other shelf and then have this be for the cake. All right, this should fill up the corn shelves. There we go. Okay, so we're done with the corn. All these shelves should be full, and the rest we're just gonna keep off to the side right here for extra food. Now let me start placing our fish. I'm wondering just how hard it's gonna be to get the fish row filled up, because that might take a very long time. So we'll start with the mackerels right here, and it does seem like the mackerels are very inefficient for filling the shelves, but it does look nice. Oh, I also realized we have berries. I'm gonna try to fill in a shelf with these berries. We'll do that right next to the corn right here, but I don't think you could put them on shelves. I think berries and chilies alike doesn't seem like you put them on shelves. Okay, so that's good to know, but also kind of sucks. Wait, hold up. Okay, no, you can place them. They just roll off like, okay. Let me pick up the ones that aren't on the shelf. There we go, and then we'll just place these and hope they don't fall off. Okay, these just keep falling off over and over and over. Interesting. I'm gonna try to just drop them on the top shelf, and then we'll call these 2 the berry shelves. All right, there we go. We got them on top. These are our berry shelves. Let me put one more on top like this. There we go. Still haven't gotten the hammer to fix that one shelf, so let me go do that. It is nighttime, so I should probably learn from my lesson and do that as soon as it's morning. But now let's take the carrots that we have and fill out the very outer rim to the brim, and it is not slim. Wait, hold up. We perfectly have enough cake to fill an entire shelf of it. That is pretty nice. All right, I think absolutely everything on the outer shelf is filled except for 2 shelves right here, which we're gonna fill with pumpkins, and then this stew shelf, which we only need 7 more stews for. So let's just go ahead and put these carrots in here, get some stews, which might be enough by now. Should be enough. And there we go. Okay, this is full. So now we just need some more pumpkins, but we'll get those pretty easily. So for now, we're just gonna take all the rest of our fruits and shove it in the stew maker, because why not? Actually, I'm gonna take all of these and shove it into the stew maker, because then that should be enough stew for the probably rest of the run, and if not, we'll grow more. And then all these carrots that are on the floor over here, we're just gonna eat those. I'm gonna have the best eyesight. I'm gonna have 2017 vision, and hopefully then we can do some better fishing. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the opposite side of where the mackerels are and just fill it up with sword. Okay, this is just as hard as mackerels. I think it might be more worth it to get mackerels then, but we'll see. Maybe the salmon have a better filling of the shelf effect. So we're gonna go quite a bit away over here and fill the salmon over here, which also have the same filling the shelf effect. Okay, that is interesting. We might be fishing for a very long time. We're gonna keep all these fish off to the side though, because we don't have enough to fill a shelf yet. Now I'm curious about the shark. Are the sharks gonna be what saves us? Let's put them over here. Actually, let me do it without the log. Okay, the sharks are good. They take up 3 per shelf, or 2 where we got lucky down here. You know what? This is gonna take some time, but we're switching it up. And I have to do this or this will take an abysmal amount of time. We are gonna have the first layer be fish and the second layer be meat, because fish are very hard to get. And if we have fish be the second layer, we might be here for an insanely long time. And I'm also a little worried about disconnecting. I do not want to disconnect with what we have so far. This is taking me an insane amount of time. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all of our mackerel and we're just gonna move it 1 shelf inward, and then we're gonna do something similar with all the meat. So it shouldn't take me a ridiculous amount of time, but we absolutely do have to do this. It would be an insane amount of fish to put it on the second layer. But now that we have our pumpkins grown in, this will finish the outer wall, or at least I'm 99% sure. Let me look. Yeah, all right, this will finish the outer wall, and there we go. Very nice. So now the rest of the vegetables we could just have for extra food. All right, I just got a bunch of stuff, and I also have an idea. In order to make the raids easier, we're gonna make a door so that hopefully the cultists will all come through the door. So let's open it right here where this shelf doesn't really hold that many mackerel, and then we'll keep going straight through. So let's take our hammer and make a doorway through each thing. There we go. And let me also fix this shelf back here, which is crooked. I still haven't done that, but now we have. All right, I just got a bunch of scrap, and I'm thinking this should be enough for 2 teleporters. Yeah, definitely enough. So let's build one right here, and then we'll build the other one by the lake. All right, it's turning nighttime, so we'll just teleport back. There we go. And then we'll put our swordfish up here. We'll get ready our boost pad, and then we'll go check out the ice fishing holes, because if we can fish there and it'll be faster, that will save a lot of time. All right, we got a bunch of fish. I'm also out of sprint, but we're gonna see how these fish will fit on the shelves, because if they don't fit very well, then I guess we're not gonna get too many of them. So we'll put some of them back here. Yep, just exactly the same. Put them right next to the chars. Nope, just about the same. Okay, so I might go get some more eels and chars just to fill up a few shelves, but other than that, I guess we just gotta keep getting regular fish. Just gonna be an insane grind. But because we have the teleporter, we can go out at pretty much any time of night and just start fishing. All right, so far is what we got. We got a decent bit of fish at the front. We got some salmon back there, some chars and 2 eels, and some sharks right here. So what I'm thinking is that because we're gonna get so many mackerels, we're gonna move these sharks closer to back here. But the meat is coming together very easily. I can just go out and anger a bunch of wolves, and then that should be pretty easy. But the fish, man, this is gonna be a grind. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a short time lapse right now of getting all the meat that we need, and then we'll check back in and probably do a time lapse of all the fish that we need, which is gonna take a long time. So time lapse starting now. All right, we're back at the base. I'm almost at 6 hours into recording now. We're at 5 hours, 56 minutes, and we finally have what seems to be enough to finish the second wall. So let's go see. I have 8 steaks. Should definitely finish this shelf. There we go. And then for the morsels, we definitely have enough. And there we go. The entire second wall is now full. It's like, I would say 80%, maybe 75% morsels and 25% steak. But regardless, it is done. So now we have to go do an insane amount of fishing. Let me make sure I have a bunch of stew. And while it's nighttime, what I'm gonna do is fish right next to the base. So like right here we have a pond, and then we also have the fishing building pond right over here, which sometimes has the fishing spots that'll help me do this a lot faster. But there's also the fact that the deer spawns on you, so maybe we're just gonna use this one over here. But I've got to do one final time lapse to finish this video. So here's here's the time lapse of me getting all the fish starting now. This is the last fish that I need. One more mackerel and we're good. There we go. Pick up all them. We're gonna put the salmon over here because we only need one last salmon. Then we're gonna finish out this shelf with the mackerel and we are done. We have maybe 65% of this just being straight up mackerel. Then we have our cake shelf, which we kept on the inner ring. We have our chars and our eels. We also need to reorganize this shelf because for some reason the clownfish don't fit together too tightly. All right, there we go. We have our rarer fish shelf right here, 3 jellyfish, bunch of clownfish, and 3 old boots. We have our shark shelf with 9 sharks, bunch of salmon, bunch of swordfish, and back to the mackerels. We are finally done with all this food. And you want to guess how long I've been recording? 9 hours now. It is absolutely insane. I think this project will come close or even surpass the chopping down every single tree in the map video, just based on time. So let me take all these stews. I'm gonna eat a few of them just to waste them because we have a bunch. Or actually, maybe I should keep a few more because we need to start placing furniture now. But before then, let me get the fire up to a higher threshold just because I do not want to have a hungry deer out of the middle of nowhere. All right, that's good enough. So now let's use our defensive blueprints. We'll put these at the entrance. We'll put it closer to the back right here. We don't want to ruin the look of the front. All right, there we go. Now let's start adding our furniture. And this is going to be difficult. We have a lot of furniture. Let me drop all my other stuff back here though, just so that we have more room in our inventory. We also do have another defensive blueprint, so let me put this down. All right, pretty much anyone who comes in here is dead. Then we're going to design a exclusive, and I mean exclusive, because this is the most expensive restaurant in 99 Nights in the Forest. I don't think anybody's as crazy enough as me to do this. So let's build a very nice exclusive restaurant for whoever wants to pay $20,000 a second to eat here. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's make it a table for 3 or a table for 4. Hold up. Where's he at? Where's Kevin? There he is. All right. We actually have a table so exclusive that you, as the main person who's paying for the check, you get to sit in this seat, Kevin's own seat. And yes, Kevin will be dining with you and he will stare at you blankly the entire time while you eat your food, and he will judge you if you don't leave a tip. So leave a tip. So we're gonna put a hedgerow right here. Actually, you know what? Let's put more hedgerows over here just before we run out. That way you are very private from the angry customers who don't know what they're talking about, and also don't look up our restaurant on Yelp. I don't know, Yelp must be broken or something. People keep saying something about dying from the food, poisonous, non-cooked fish. I don't know what they're talking about. Then we'll use some trellises just like that, and for the opening we'll use some fences with some moss on them for extra flavor and also a hint of poison. We'll cut this one in a little bit just so that we can use more of them. All right, here is the entrance to our restaurant. Very private, very exclusive. Kevin actually works here all day. I don't pay him, but if you want to get in, you're gonna have to pay $20,000 a second, I'm pretty sure. So let's put a fairy light arch right here. That way you have a nice entrance into the restaurant, and as you are literally dying to death, we'll put a fairy light arch right here just to make your death a little bit more enjoyable, and then a fairy light arch right here for our guests who actually know how to avoid the trap, which is pretty much nobody. Now what I want to do is I want to take all the rugs that we have and actually use them as part of the restaurant's design. So we're gonna have to find all of them. All right, so we have 3 purple rugs and 3 blue rugs. So I think what we could do is a alternating pattern going from blue to purple to blue in this area right here. That way you're not necessarily eating on carpet unless you're unlucky enough to not be paying for the meal, so you do get the carpet seat. And the red rug, oh dude, this is the red carpet. If you eat here, you are wealthy enough to walk on red carpet, my good sir. Whoever you are, madam, sir, if you have money, I will happily make some poisonous food for you that hopefully you won't sue me over with your 15,000 lawyers. We'll also put a green signpost here for poison, and then back here we'll add all of our bean bags as a relaxation area where you can digest your food properly while you are relaxing listening to the stock market. Now I have no idea how one listens to the stock market, but I'm not rich enough to do that. That's my customer's job. I also just found another red rug, so we're gonna have the red carpet be even longer into the fire because rich people are fire resistant. Don't ask me how I know that. And with that, that's all the furniture I want to place. The rest we'll just toss off in that lake. Our table here, we have a few appetizers, not the entrees. 2 pieces of chicken, because I'm just calling this chicken. 2 pieces of sushi. Technically, it is raw fish. And then 2 pieces of chili for if you want to literally die by mouth fire. Now, we actually have our first group of customers making their way over to this base. So I do have to do well at impressing them. So let's see. I think they're coming in. All right, here's our first customer, who's literally a Martian. Bro is jumping in slow motion. All right, sir, come in this way. I would actually like to show you your table back here. Sir, why are you sleeping? All right, well, fine. You go to another restaurant then. All right, well, you know what? We have more customers begging to come in. They're literally breaking down the walls to come in. Come right this way, my good sir. What's your name? Kevin? Oh, okay. I have actually a pretty cool person that I think you should meet. All right, right this way, my good sir. Don't mind the guy who's sleeping. He's pretty... All right, this is not funny anymore. I think they know each other. But let me see. There should be one more guy over here. Even though he was shooting at me, I do think that all people deserve second chances. So come over here, sir. I have... Okay, you know what? You don't want to follow me? I see how it is, man. It's pretty rude. This guy over here, though, his name is actually Kevon. So he's actually going to have a really good time with Kevin. I think they'll have a very nice conversation about something about politics. So well, apparently everybody's sleep deprived. I have no idea why. It's not like I've been staying up for almost 2 years straight in this game. All right, he's finally following me. Sir, I promise you, the food is good. And apparently, our entryway is so good that everyone likes taking naps. Then follow me, my good sir. Do not eat the food. Don't stop eating the food, sir. You haven't paid for that. Sir, eat the food. This is not a robbery. Eat the... wait, why am I telling them to eat the food? You know what? Fine. I have to defend myself. All right, now that our customers have been dealt with, very, very rude, by the way, I do want to do one last thing. This base looks pretty nice from the outside. You know, we have a ton of corn and all that, but it doesn't really showcase the inner beauty. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna get rid of a lot of these corn shelves. So we're just gonna eat the corn, which will clear up space for other things that I want to put in here. So we're gonna go out to 3 shelves on each side. Get the 3rd shelf over here. And now let's start adding a bunch of color and vibrance to it. So we're gonna get stuff like the mackerels for a shelf. And now we have a much, much better looking entrance. We have a whole vibrant range of colors right here. Very light archway entering into the base. Very, very nice. This took an insanely long amount of time. We are now at 9.5 hours. So let's do the base tour. All right, entering in here, we have our very own fairy light archway, welcoming guests into our restaurant or our food base. We have mackerels, swordfish, salmon, corn, apples, and pumpkins all displaying out front. Then on the inner wall, we have a bunch of steaks, no idea the count. We have a bunch of ribs that don't really fit in the shelves that well. I don't know how many actually fits in a shelf, but I did not get enough to do that probably. Then over here, we have our cooked morsels, which go out pretty much all the way around, as we didn't find as much steak as we did morsels. But coming into this 3rd layer, don't step in here like the people who like taking naps, but come to the side and see our beautiful array of fish, of which we have way too many mackerels. And speaking of mackerels, pretty much all of these mackerels came out of this pond. If you're asking how they all fit in here, I don't know either. Then over here we have our cake shelf, which I actually had too many cakes, so I had to put more on top. Then we have our chars and our eels. The eels are very expensive because they kill you. We make you sign a waiver signing over all of your assets over to us because we want your money. Then we have our rarer fish. Same thing for the jellyfish, by the way. You have to sign a different waiver, but same thing. Then we have our clownfish and our old boots, which are our most chewy option on the menu. If you want to order that, you can get some real flavor out of it. Then we have 9 sharks, bunch of salmon. Salmon's actually pretty common. You must be poor if you eat salmon. Only real rich people die by eating electric eels. Then we have our swordfish. They will cut your throat the second you eat them. Very, very expensive. And now let's go into the base the right way by jumping over the shelf. Over here, we have our farm plus our industrial cooker, where we have cooked so many different stews just by plopping a bunch of carrots in here with our sack. 20 farm plots all at the same place. Very nice, very industrial. We got our teleporter to the level 3 lake, boost pad that we used, camping chairs if you want to sit by the fire, 4 kids tent, as well as the fact that we are also insanely rich with 9 forest gems and 39 cultist gems. But for our very VIP guests, aka Kevin, we have the red carpet laid out with a sign letting you know that this is red carpet just in case you can't see with your eyes. Coming in here, we have our restaurant with flowers, a purple and blue hangout area just in case you don't feel like eating but feel like hanging out. Then right here, and I do want to warn you, this is one of the most important parts about the entire base, so keep it calm, okay? I don't want to seem weird in front of him. This this is Kevin, our very, very VIP, VVIP, very, very important person who will eat with you if you spend $20,000 a second at a restaurant. And yes, I do know that price is a little cheap, but I promise you this is the real Kevin. And with that, that is our entire biggest food base. This took a ridiculous amount of time. I don't know why I did this. Hopefully you guys like it. And we just made it to almost day 600 with no beds. So that's insane. But thanks for watching. Subscribe and click on this video right here.